Good evening, everybody, for the final round of the Super Sunday Super Cup, presented by OTA, Ontario Time Attack, of course, Hip Motorsports, 13 Motorsports, and Adrena Garage. We got Suzuka this week, historic track in Japan at the base Mount Fuji, and it's owned by Honda, actually, I think, and it was built in the late 60s. F1's been running there for a very long time, as well as many other series that travel the world, as well as Japan. Things like Super GT, Formula Nippon, and others. I got Josh Cronin in the
Railroad.
booth with me,
Hello. We got a big
and
race.
yeah, we got a big race. So
Big
car
race
this
today.
week, Formula Agile. This is a specific
Yeah.
car to Assetto
So
Corsa.
this car does not exist. This is a car specifically made for Assetto Corsa. It is a fictional car. The mod maker, whose name I wish I could attribute, to this. I'll try and find it during the broadcast. The specific emphasis with this car is that the car is lightweight. So the car makes I think it makes 370 something horsepower, but it actually only weighs like 600 or 700 kilograms.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's got a crazy power to weight. But the other thing too is the car also only has one tire compound. It's got a hard compound tire. So getting the heat into it because you have a lightweight car is pretty difficult. You do have the downforce to help you with it, but I think it's a naturally aspirated superbike motor through some hard slicks and with just a little bit of aero, and it seems to be checking all the boxes for our drivers. I didn't hear a single people who hated this car. Every single driver seemed to love this car, and especially at this track, Suzuka just being such a historic and iconic track. I felt that it was going to be a great track to close off the season, and apparently it really is.
Absolutely. We're just sitting in driving some qualifying right now. We got about 17 minutes-ish left in qualifying. A lot of drivers kind of setting their first set of laps here, right along with Nathan Hodgins right now, P1 with a 2:03.9 on the board, as he zips through the hairpin here, over towards Spoon. Let's ride along with him here in the cockpit cam. Suzuka is a great track. It's tons of fun. A lot of different types of corners, mixes of kind of low-speed hairpins, mid-speed and high-speed corners, as well as places like the S's at the start.
Yeah,
And some decent elevation change too, especially on the latter half of the track. So, yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. Really one of those tracks that takes a lot of discipline to nail your apexes lap in and lap out. But it's really, really rewarding when you get it right. Nathan get a little bit of lockup there through the last
yeah, the
chicane.
dude be locking it up though. Oh, he's sliding it.
Sliding it, catches
But
it.
yeah, I mean, Suzuka. This is an opinion, so feel free to take it with a grain of salt. I genuinely believe Suzuka is the greatest track on the planet. I think because it has every single corner. It's got a hairpin. It's got S's. It's got high-speed corners. It's got low-speed corners. It's got multi-apex corners. It's got decreasing radiuses. It's got increasing radiuses. It's got consistent radiuses.
Yeah,
It's got a chicane.
a lot of variety.
Technically, it's got 3 chicanes, but we only use 1.
Yeah, no, very true.
It's got a straightaway.
I'm not gonna be the person to slander Suzuka. I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite tracks as well. Like you're saying, like we were both saying, just tons of variety. Tons and tons of variety. You're racing at Suzuka. You're getting a little bit of everything.
I can see why Honda uses this track, because if I was testing a car, or whether it be race or road, I would want to do it here.
Absolutely.
Because you'll figure out where it struggles. Excuse me. The only thing you might have an issue with is top speed, but I mean you can go
that
anywhere
front
for that.
straight's pretty damn long, so you
Yeah,
get a
it
good
is pretty
sense.
long. That's true.
But yeah, no,
Or
you really
probably
get
the run at a Spoon.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Might be the fastest
Towards
part.
130 yards, probably the fastest part of the track. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's just one of those tracks, right? Just a lot of variety, so you get a real good feel of how the car handles through certain sectors, whether it's low speed, transient corners, or otherwise. So definitely a tricky track to do setups for. You need something that's very, very well rounded. It's not really, too much of one thing, right? So you really need to make sure that you have the high speed stability, but keep enough low speed grip to get good exits out of these slow corners, which there are many. So it's awesome stuff. Val doing a 48.9, so he's on the top of the timing charts right now. Doug Newman not too far behind with a 149.0. I'm sure the drivers here, as they zip around the track and the tires start to get warmed up, they'll be able to get those times down even more.
Yeah, and so I guess speaking of Val, let me find my notebook. We can discuss, because this is the final round, we can discuss kind of how our championships, we still have a couple that have to be decided. Val has won the overall championship through the drop week, so congratulations to Val on that. But for the rear-wheel drive championship, Val will have to finish ninth or lower in order for Doug to win it, which, I mean, that is possible. But more importantly, the closeness is in the rookie championship. Brady C. and Michael Kozier, only 2 points separate them. So for Brady to win the rookie championship, which Kozier currently leads, he will have to beat Kozier by 2 places or more. In the event that they, well, actually, let me double check. So he will, in order for it to be definitive, he will have to finish 3 places or more ahead of Kozier. If they tie, as in if he finishes 2 places ahead, it will be a tie in the points, and we'll have to do a count back to in number of first places, second places, third places, all the way down. In which case, let me fact check this. In which case, Brady will win it, because Brady has a 5th place finish. Kozier does not. Kozier's best finish is 6th.
Fair enough. I mean, Kozier right now doing a good job in qualifying, so I wonder if he can parlay this in the race. So far, 3rd place here.
Yeah, so Brady basically has to.
So
Brady basically has to put. Brady basically has to put a car between him and Kozier to win the championship.
Fair enough. That's gonna be a tight battle.
Incredibly close. Like we said, our rear-wheel drive championship, Val basically just has to finish above 9th, which is, to be honest, entirely doable for Val, given that I actually looked at the standings. It's actually incredible how many rounds Val has won. If we look at the event results, round 1, Doug Newman won it. Val won round 2. Val won round 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we might see a break of the Val dominance. We don't know, though. He is on pole. That is 100% doable. What else? Yeah, pretty much. That's sort of about it. A lot of other, obviously, our front-wheel drive championship has already been decided. Our consistency championship obviously is going to be a major factor on this, especially because I was talking with some of the drivers on strategy before the race, and it looks like it's going to be a 2 or 3 stop. So getting those tires, or managing those tires as they wear, is going to be interesting. It's going to be 2 stops at roughly 19 laps per stint, or 3 stops on a 14-lap stint. And that's going to be really important, because they're obviously, with the timing, your in-laps and your out-laps will be invalidated, they will be removed from the calculation for the average consistency, but with such a short stint length, there's lots of time for opportunity, especially if the tires are wearing that fast. You'll get to the point where you start having your grip levels change throughout sectors, not only on a lap basis. Currently leading the Constructors' Championship, let me get that on the board. Nathan Hodgins currently leads the Constructors' Championship. Val is 2nd, and very closely behind is Thomas Langhill in 3rd. It'll really be close. Unfortunately, Gags is running 5th in the Constructors, wow, in the Consistency Championship. Gags is unfortunately not able to be here today, and we're very fortunate to hear that, but which sucks, because he said he was really enjoying the car combo, but circumstances came up, which is very unfortunate.
Absolutely, these things happen, but yeah, real shame, really. Gags having a really strong showing in the championship this season, so
that's also why we like to add the drop week in. Just because, at the end of the day, we're racing on computers, right? And sometimes things matter a bit more than computers, so we totally understand that.
For sure.
We would hope people take days off if they have to do things. I mean, Imola had 13 cars because I decided to schedule it during the Fart League, the Sister League's award ceremony. So that was a little bit of a boneheaded move from me, but that's why we have drop weeks. I mean, I also did schedule one during the Super Bowl, so that was, not the best. Val has reset the pits. Doug Newman is only 0.2 of a second behind him. That's doable as somebody just absolutely wrecks in front of. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, Doug's doing a pretty good job right now. He's, you know, just chugging away in the 48s on a decently strong lap as well.
Went up through what's entering the Degnar curves now, just bouncing it off the curbs. You can be pretty excessive with the track limits on the inside of that. I'm pretty sure. The track limits are a bit loose here. They're kind of running the F1 track limits. The only thing you can really cut on, you really get the cut on, is the chicane. You can even really go wide at Spoon, but you don't actually gain time by doing it, which I think might be why the track creator does not have a cut there. Because if you're going into the runoff at Spoon, you're not really actually gaining time.
No, and honestly, getting back on, touching that little bit of, I guess that painted green surface is pretty slick.
Yeah. It's a low grip. So yeah, like you're not. It's there for a reason. To go out wide enough.
It's there in case you lose it. It's there so that you don't go straight into grass runoff. Like you have some room to kind of get off and get back on track. But yeah, you're not gaining anything. You really, like, you don't want to. It's a non-option basically if you're actually trying to race. It's more or less like a safety zone just in case you know, things go south.
This might be a lap to improve for Doug Newman. Don't know if it'll put him on the pole though.
Not quite.
I think
off. He had a bit of a rough go through the chicane. We were riding along board with him, and
Val's looking to improve. I'm on board with Val.
What is that? A Spirelli tires? Spirelli?
Oh, yep, the famous Spirelli tires.
Interesting, fascinating.
Yeah. I personally prefer Bridgestone or Dunlop. Can we just get spoof sponsors for next season? Get real sponsors from the brands that appreciate us.
More of a Firestore man myself.
Yeah, Firestore. Yeah, man. I'm actually about to pick up some Firestores. Gotta get some Indy 500s for my car because I'm extremely fast with all 197 horsepower.
Oh yeah.
And through my 5-speed my 6-speed automatic.
I got my Mitch Schillings.
Wagon. Mitch Schillings, yeah. Man. Throwing the bad years on the whip.
Yep.
What game was it that had bad years? Was it GTA?
It could have been GTA.
A game that
yeah,
had
bad years. Yeah.
Yeah, let me look it up. That's how important qualifying is. Oh, I think Val might have gotten track limits, or at the very least last time.
I know. Cars the movie had light years, which is also played
right. Yeah,
to Toy Story and stuff.
I'm looking at bad year tires. There was definitely something that had bad year tires.
Doug just going for his warm-up lap here. Just zipping around. Let's check in with Val, see what he's doing. Ooh. Val's coming out. Doug's not too far, but ooh, Doug getting a little loose there. Val looks like he's not going to improve on his time currently. Looking at the performance delta there. Handy on the screen there in the bottom right. Looks like he's about 800ths off his best time.
I do not actually think anything had... I do not think anything had bad year tires. I think it was simply a joke that I saw at one point. This race is going to be interesting, man. I was totally prepared to do like a car talk thing, just like talk about like tires and like things that aren't the race, like endurance racing style. Just like talk about other things. Like,
oh, Val getting a really good run through the chicane. Is this going to be an improvement? Yes, it is.
He's just gone positive.
Yeah, 2/10.
48.2.
2/10. He gets it at the line. He's going to stay out for another lap, see if he can improve. I believe Doug is just going to be going around for his out lap now.
Doug's going to be. He's going to be coming to his flyer
this is
now.
His flyer now. Yeah, rather. Okay, so the big brain move, and I've seen a couple drivers do it, but not all. On the exit of the chicane, the last corner, if you hug the wall, the pit wall on the inside, it seems very counterintuitive, but if you hug the wall on the inside on your very fast lap, you gain quite a bit of time because the distance to the start-finish line is so much shorter.
Shorter distance versus the speed you lose coming out of the corner.
Exactly, and to run out to the outside, it's like you're traveling a much further distance, and especially because the line is pretty soon on that start-finish straight, you gain a lot there versus, let's say, running a line out normally and then just trying to gain speed that way. It's kind of interesting. Obviously, you're not going to run that during the race. But in terms of, for the sake of setting a time, it's a pretty safe bet in terms of trying to cut your time down.
Doug Newman might have taken a bit too much exit curb in between the first and second Degnar curves. Lost him some time, but he's 2/10 up out of the hairpin.
Yeah, had a really good run at a spoon there. He struggled there on his previous fast lap.
Actually, that's not spoon. That's hairpin.
It's hairpin. This is spoon.
This is spoon.
Trailing
Well, in fact, the corner's
in.
name is quite literally hairpin.
Yes, it is.
Trailing it in, gets on the gas. Good run. He is going positive up the back straight. Oh, he's actually staying pretty consistent.
Yep. Had a good, decent. I think he got on the power a little bit too early, a little touch and go, so he ended up pushing a little bit there and had to lift slightly.
Unless he can somehow magically gain a couple tenths through the final chicane.
It's possible. We saw Val do it.
That's the move.
Ooh,
oh,
goes
he's blown
wide,
it.
blows the first apex.
He's blown it, but he is up. Oh, and now he's down. It's not really going to help.
He's gonna have to go for another one.
Just a bit slower than his previous best. He is going to have enough time to do one more. Might just be trying to burn fuel off the car or get them up to temp.
Comes to the first corner here. Misses the apex there as well. And he's going to lose a tenth and a half, 2 tenths there.
He might be able to do a recovery drive from this, but that might be it.
For sure. I mean, much faster through that section of the S's there. Using all the inside curb.
Oh! And that ends Doug Newman's qualifying attempt.
Indeed.
He'll have to settle for second. Is second on the inside? Is second on the? Is it like Senna moment? Like, is he gonna start on the inside going to turn one?
That's a good question.
I think they changed it back. I think the pole sitter now sits on the inside.
Do we remember the flying cam shortcut?
F7.
F7.
You have to enable it though.
Oh, I don't have it enabled. Ooh.
Oh.
Big oof.
What do you need? What do you need me to look at?
I was trying to see the front grid there to see where the starting positions are.
Find out. Currently flying down the back straight.
Yeah, I guess we'll see from Val here. We'll just ride along with him. What does it say? Seek and destroy on the back wing, I believe?
It does say seek and destroy. I believe it's based off... so the pole sitter will start on the left side.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that both leaders have the same paint, which is annoying. But I believe the paint's based off of a World War II fighter plane.
Oh, and Valerie says the bits before we can see it.
Man.
Who we still got out?
On a flyer.
Phil on a flyer.
The downshift before the first apex, that's pretty good because that engine brake can help stabilize the car as you basically bounce it off the curbs towards the second one.
For sure. Okay, I'm going to sound like a bit of a dummy here, but and don't laugh. I feel like the front of this Formula Agile kind of looks like a Lego version of a Formula 1 car. The nose
it really does.
It's
no, I know what you mean.
It's so square.
Yeah, it's an angle. Just one singular angle.
Man, you know, I just realized that kind of makes me sad.
What?
This isn't a real vehicle, so I can't pull up random irrelevant
vehicle
fun
facts
facts.
about it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk about the most popular series on the planet, the Formula Regional European Championship.
All right, let's do that.
I'm gonna look this up.
We
so
still
for those
got
of you who don't know about
Thomas
Formula Regional, Formula Regional is the feeder series to the feeder series to the feeder series to F1. And it's and I mean this respectfully, it's commentated by one of the worst commentators I've ever heard in motorsports. He comes with a funny nickname for all the drivers, but the difference is that they're annoying. Let's see who else. We got any big names in the Formula Regional European Championship for 2022?
Kozier couldn't improve.
Eduardo Barrichello.
Nice. Brady is not going to finish his lap. Phil.
Bastian Montoya.
Not going to finish. Daniel does not improve. And let's see if we got any finishers here. I don't believe Dimitri is not going to be close enough. No, so I think that's going to be our order here.
Might be. Let's look at the International Formula 3 Championship. So there's a lot actually. Well, we gotta do our grid rundown now. That's gonna be for the middle of the race. We can talk about generic open wheelers. I'm down. I like talking about open wheelers, even though I don't watch a lot of open wheeler racing actually.
Yeah,
All right, we got some big names. Let's do one final grid rundown for the season.
Let's do it.
On the pole, unsurprisingly, it's Val. Doug Newman sits in second, his championship rival. Oh wow, so we might actually get a Senna moment. Doug Newman's not much better than that. Joseph Yang sits in third. Thomas Lengyel sits in fourth. Kozier sits in fifth as it stands right now. Kosier would win the Rookie Championship if it stays how it is. Nathan Hodgins is in 6th. Matt Alexander is in 7th. Paul Todd is in 8th. Jackson Oliveira is in 9th. Brady, the other championship contender for the Rookie Championship, is in 10th. Philip is in 11th. Daniel is in 12th. Troy, 13th. Lee Larson, 14th. Gerald Nemhard, my pick. He might win the final race of the season. Sitting 15th. Giuliano sitting 16th. Alex Milo sitting 17th. Laszlo Tothas sitting 18th. Walter B is 19th. And for the first time in forever, a 20th car. Dmitry Mochkin sits 20th. He said I was talking to Dmitry before this race, he said his strategy is he plans to take out everybody in front of him in turn 1, and then he's going to win the race.
There you go, bold.
I can't believe we got a seek and destroy teammates 1-2. I'm so annoyed that both the championship contenders are, for the rear-wheel drive championship, are in the same car. Like, they look exactly the same. But that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, that's
I like Joseph Yang's paint. It looks boring. Thomas, I'm a big fan of the orange and black car. When I was testing, that's the car that I ran, Joseph Yang. That means the flat gray car is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting thing to note, anybody who is eligible for the championship, or a championship, being Val, Doug, Kosier, with the exception of Brady, is running the Seek and Destroy car, just by coincidence.
That is...
Now, is anybody who's not running the Seek and Destroy car? No. Okay, so if we see a Seek and Destroy car crash, we know that it's big.
Yes, that the Seek and Destroy
that's
destroyed championship implications. Got it.
Oh, good save from me. I just almost dumped coffee all over my white Marshall sweater.
Hey,
ride on the broadcast.
Hey.
But we saved it. The other thing these drivers got to be really careful for on the start. Remember, these are hard, cold tires with no traction control on a standing start. In a lightweight car, so you don't even have the heat, like the weight pushing down on the tires to get heat into them. This will be an interesting one. Lights illuminate or come up on the screen. We're waiting. First lights on. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Lights are on. Lights are out. Val, Doug, Joseph Yang, all getting away well.
I want to wreck in the back. Trouble.
Oh my! Oh jeez, is that Dimitri?
Phil's involved. Dimitri's involved. Giuliano's involved.
Jeez.
The field gets through turn 1 safe.
Oh, Doug getting past Val through turn 1 there.
Doug gets around him. Doug maybe met a short field running that 3-stop strategy instead of the 2-stop we talked. The field snakes through the S's. Somebody's gone off. I think it's Walter. Walter's gone off in one of the S's. Rejoins in 19th.
Cold tires do be like that.
Cold tires do be like that. For the first lap, Val's right in the Val getting sideways out of the Decnar curves. Now going to be challenged by Thomas. He's gained 2 places on the start, looking to make it 3 through the hairpin. Val running an offensive line. Not going to yield yet. We've got a spinner in the back. Matt Alexander's off. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, and he's off.
Probably just a case of luck. Oh, they're still wrecking out of the hairpin. Phil's involved. Laszlo. They keep wrecking.
Ooh, Thomas on the inside of Val through Spoon. All right, got ourselves a race. Val's gonna have the toe. Up the back straight here towards 130R.
Remember, these cars don't have DRS. Good old-fashioned draft. Val's gonna take it side by side through 130R.
Makes it stick, gonna force Thomas on the outside, but Thomas is gonna have the inside on the braking zone.
Almost dive bombing Val, maybe going to let him by.
Ooh, Val having to go wide there on the entry to the chicane is gonna open it up to Joseph Yang. Let's take advantage. Got ourselves a little train here. Val once again poking out to the inside. Ducking in to turn 1 through turn 2. He'll get it.
Man, a real close battle through basically the entire, almost the top 8. Top 10 even. We had a wreck in the back at the chicane last lap. I think Giuliano just might have missed the chicane. And there was some contact and he spun out. Not sure what happened there. Alex Milo and Troy going side by side up the S. There's a bit of contact for 10th. Troy's going to get through. Oh, sorry, for 11th rather.
Yeah, Troy's just
The
gonna.
big difference, that's 1 point. Cozier is up to 5th. Brady has closed the gap. He's only a couple places backwards.
Oh, Val and
Somebody's
Thomas.
gone off. That's Val.
Val went off there.
Val's gone off. Down to 5th, down to 6th.
Ooh, it's a tough spot to go off there just before the hairpin after that fast right-hander.
That really is a tough spot. We joked about Val finishing 9th or lower being a pretty unrealistic feat for the rear-wheel drive championship. It's looking a bit more realistic now. Troy and somebody else have gone off in the hairpin. I think it's Gerald.
Gerald and Troy getting tangled up. Ooh, Troy. There's that Gerald actually bounced off that inside curb there and got really out of sorts. Managed to keep it straight, barely.
Hairpin seems to be a hotbed for activity.
Absolutely.
And it really
Hodgins
is.
And Coisier as well. Side by side, almost through 130R. Nathan does lift.
Oh, Val with a crazy one, 3 wide through the chicane.
Oh man, Val.
And he gets it. Oh no!
Coisier goes around. Oh, Hodgins goes around.
Gets back on it. Only going to lose 1 place.
Joseph Yang goes around as well.
Joseph Yang. Oh, he's got the slowdown to serve. Oh no, that's disastrous. There's another wreck in the background.
Oh, Coisier's dropping. Oh man, Brady.
Both rookie contenders involved. The gap stays the same. Somebody else, I think. Who is that? Oh, somebody went off. Dimitri went off at the exit. Oh, just calamity corner here in the Casio triangle. It's just about the entire field wrecking through that corner.
Sitting with Nathan here and Alex Milo. Alex running really strong, 6th place so far.
Yeah, good showing for him.
Good showing. He's doing his thing.
Well, man, I still got to recover from that. We had a 3 wide pass that worked through the final chicane at Suzuka, something that virtually never happens. Then a wreck involving the championship contender.
Something went off there.
Oh, no, Alex Milo goes off.
That's Alex Milo going off.
Commentators curse. Everything is happening at Suzuka. Cozier's up to 9th. Man, a 3 wide pass through the final chicane, something that never works at Suzuka. That worked. Then the championship contender for the rookies goes off. Then his challenger goes off. Then somebody else wrecks.
Oh, I think Walter just went off as well.
Oh, we still got 1 hour 34 left.
Oh, Laszlo going off as well.
Field spreading out a little bit more at the front with all that chaos.
Yeah, Doug making himself a nice, comfortable lead here. Sitting at 1.2 seconds. Val actually 3 seconds behind Thomas, who's running in 2nd place, Val in 3rd. So interesting. Val having a bit of a rough start, which is not like him.
You know, I think that gap just got extended by. I mean, it was an incredible move, the 3 wide move. He made it work, but just that kills your run coming out of the chicane. You lose so much time off of it. Or getting by Alex Milo for 10th.
Troy doing a gap 52.5.
Cozier still leads Brady by 2 places. Brady at this rate would have to gain 4 places to win the rookie championship. Not an unheard of feat, especially given the different strategies. Some drivers were talking about the 3, some were talking about the 2. Interesting to see how this one plays out.
Let's sit with Thomas Langiel here a little bit. He is very close behind Doug Newman here.
Jackson having a bit of an issue getting into the Degnar curves. I think he might have gotten a bit sideways, loses 4th.
Nathan was almost on him there for 5th, dropping Jackson back 2 places, but Nathan having a lot of trouble getting back on the power on the exit of the Degnar curves there towards the hairpin.
Oh, this is actually interesting to note, too. I entirely forgot because I'm the worst person at running a series ever, apparently. Paul Todd is also in contention for the rookie championship. I'm going to run some numbers real quick right now to figure out where he's got to finish. Feel free to fill time.
Absolutely. Paul Todd, running 7th. He's really close to Nathan right now. Going to look on the inside into 130R. He's going to have the pass done. Looks like it. Nathan is going to lift a little bit. And Paul is going to make sure he has that ideal line coming through the chicane here. Nathan going to run it deep. Makes it stick, maybe. Yes, he does. So Nathan with the over-under there. Paul, no choice but to filter back into 7th place. And I'm sure these guys are going to be leapfrogging each other quite a bit over the next couple of laps.
Alrighty, I've run some quick numbers, and it's not an unreasonable ask. Paul needs to score 2 more points than Kozier, something he is currently doing right now, and 4 more than Brady, something he is currently doing right now. As it stands, Paul Todd will win the Rookie Championship.
Fair enough. I mean, that'll be exciting for him, something I'm sure he would be really, really excited with. You know, not having the best luck in some of these races, but overall he's been really, really consistent when he stays out of trouble. And yeah, no, 7th place for now for him. Putting down some pretty good lap time. So yeah, no, good for Paul Todd. Hopefully he can have a nice clean race for the next hour, 31 minutes, and bring that championship home.
I hope so. A relative dark horse, and I'm not just saying that because he's in the gray and black car, a relative dark horse in the championship. We haven't really said much about Paul Todd, but the real key is he's been consistent.
Thomas Lange a lot closer to
Half
Doug
a
Newman
second.
this time around. Half a second and closing.
You got to think, is Doug maybe perhaps, did he use up too much of his tires? These are hard compound tires, but even then the longest we're seeing him go is 17 laps. We're 5 laps in. That's almost a quarter of the life. More than a quarter of the life.
Absolutely. Yeah, Thomas able to close in quite a bit on the chicane. Doug in a bit of a better exit, but Thomas is going to have a nice toe here down the front straight. Doug doing his best to try to break that toe. Weaving around a little bit. He's going to hold the inside as Thomas gets a nice run into
around the outside.
Corner. Does he make it stick? Oh, no.
No, the over-under. Oh, a beautiful attempt from Thomas.
He certainly tried.
Try through the S's. I'd be really impressed if he could pull off a move through the S's at Suzuka. There's just so many of them. You kind of need a bit of give and take from everybody to do it.
Absolutely. Coming up through the uphill here through Dunlop. Into the Degner
using a bit too much curb. Maybe getting a bit loose. That's the one thing that's also key at Suzuka is there's a lot of places you can use the curbs, but the real important thing, just like the Nürburgring, there's 1 or 2 places you absolutely cannot.
For sure. We're looking with Doug here. You can see Thomas just his mirrors there. Just let him know he's there. Thomas going to tuck in, be very close behind on the exit here. Now,
gonna get that slipstream through the corner. That's name I don't know. I don't even think this actually has a corner. It's just like the sweeping thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a sweeper. Does it have a name? I don't believe so. I think it's just turn 10.
Yeah.
Or 200R. 200R. Excuse me. It does,
200R. Right,
it does have a name.
Radius. There you go, man.
Through Spoon, Thomas a heck of a lot closer than earlier in the lap. Now, is he going to be able to make a move stick here with his draft? I don't know if he's going to be close enough through 130R. Might have to have a look into the chicane here. Doug's going to try to protect that inside. Thomas going to go with the over-under. Ooh, getting absolutely side by side here.
Oh, they're going to be side by side up the front straight. Gentlemen, we're 10 minutes in. We got an hour and a half left.
Yeah, they're side by side. There is literally 300s between them right now. And Thomas is the inside. There he goes.
Thomas to the lead. You know he's going to be loving this Val. Val's 6.5 seconds behind, but the battling's going to slow them down. Val's last lap on 152. Thomas's last lap on 150. Okay, so Val might be having some issues.
Wonder if Val, with his off tracks, he must have worn his tires down quite a bit.
Another thing too is he could have packed more fuel. Maybe he's going for the 2-stop strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, given that these cars are so light, and I mean, 300 horsepower is a lot of power and only 700-ish kilograms. Then again, fuel makes a big difference at that weight. You know, if you're running an extra 50 kilograms of fuel, that's a good chunk of the weight of the car. So running light fuel in these formula cars makes a big difference in your overall pace.
Absolutely. As it stands, I just want to put... Oh, Kozier goes off in the Degner curves. I was about to say Kozier had gotten past Daniel. That would at least secure him second in the championship, and also would have secured him... well, it would have secured him first, but also second in the event that Brady caught up to him. But goes off, lets Daniel by. Paul Todd, as it stands right now, Paul Todd would remain third. Brady is only 2 places behind. Sorry, 3 places behind Paul Todd. Brady would still win the rookie championship. Things really are close. Doug Newman has a 1.4 second gap to Thomas. Thomas might be on the short fill strategy, I'm suspecting, given that Val's also catching Doug Newman, but not by a ton. Gosh, everything's happening.
Yeah, and with the real differences of strategy that we're going to see tonight, it definitely makes it very interesting, very difficult to predict over the next hour, 26 minutes, how the drivers decided to run their race in terms of, tire strat, whether they're going to run a full tank and just go kind of bleed it dry as possible and avoid that secondary pit stop, or short fill like we're seeing with some of the drivers, and just trying to kind of maximize your speed around the track, and then hope that speed difference makes up for the extra pit stop time.
Absolutely. And I did the math, so I'll be damned if I'm not going to talk about it, but the rookie championship, Paul Todd now sits second, to which the prize is, well, nothing. Only the winner gets it, but, you get to say you finished second. You only get to finish in the rookie championship once.
Absolutely.
I did the math. I'm going to talk about that for the entire race.
Yes, yes. The math has been done.
Well, Todd is trying to move on Nathan, though.
Yeah, no, he's been within, 3/10, 4/10 for, a good little bit. I mean, he's now 1 seconds behind. But
I was going to say, rather Nathan trying to move on Jackson.
Yeah.
Trying to move, I mean following.
I mean, the drivers have kind of settled in a little bit. I wonder if they're just kind of, riding along in the draft, trying to preserve tires and preserve fuel. Not pushing them too hard, obviously, if you can make them last longer. Maybe able to save a pit stop. We'll see how it goes. Everything's pretty much settled in here for the most part. Looking at Nathan, he has tried the late brake pass into the Casio triangle before. Doesn't do it this time, as he's a bit far from Jackson to attempt to move like that. Paul Todd actually closing up quite a bit there, now 6/10 away. So
it's important. If Paul Todd gets past him, he will provisionally take the lead of the rookie championship. I want to apologize to Paul Todd because I entirely forgot he was in championship contention when I was talking to him earlier.
Somebody should go light the fire under his butt.
Yeah, I might have to send him a Christmas card.
Absolutely. Paul a lot closer this lap. 4/10 to Nathan Hodgins here.
And Paul Todd's a great guy, let alone a good driver.
For sure. I mean, look, Nathan's been, near the top of the standings pretty much every race this season, and Paul Todd, look, he's putting up a really good fight, and seems to have the pace over Nathan in this car. We'll see what he can do here. I think if he keeps his pace up, he'll be right alongside. Ooh, speaking of which, right alongside within the next lap or so, or maybe even sooner. Nathan getting really late on the brakes into the hairpin, running wide there, which kind of really opened him up to an attack from Paul Todd behind. As we get out through Spoon here, got to focus on a really good exit because you're going to have that run all the way down to 130R. Draft doing wonders. Paul Todd pulling quite a bit of speed. Don't know if he'll be alongside for 130R. Don't believe so by the looks of it. Nope, he'll filter in behind.
Hey, he's a lot faster though.
Oh, absolutely. Nathan going way wide through 130R there. Paul Todd gonna have a look, a little bit of a lockup,
misses it,
and that's gonna cost them quite a bit of time. Gonna be now almost a second behind Nathan Hodgins, who was in front. So, we got an hour 23 left. Why don't we go to a quick break, and then we will see you guys in a little bit and update you on the race. All right, we're back. Paul Todd still very close to Nathan Hodgins. Almost had a run into him actually into turn 1 there, but had to back out a little bit. He's going to try to chase him through the S's and out towards Dunlop and see if we can get him moved on there. But we'll see. We'll see. It's very, a very tricky spot to make a pass on this part of the track. Just because, you know, those S's, you kind of end up, you know, on the outside of the guy you're trying to pass, and on the inside, and then on the outside, and the inside, and then just running kind of side by side there is very tricky, and you end up losing a lot more time.
Side by side to the S's is very.
It's dicey.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very give and take relationship.
Absolutely.
Too. Both drivers have to be willing to. Both drivers have to be willing to do it. To be honest.
Yeah, and not a lot of drivers are willing.
Yeah, that's the key. Todd a second back. Thomas has pulled a 3.4 second gap into the lead, and we are now seeing the ill-fated lap traffic. With the aero cars like these, lap traffic's gonna kind of suck. Yes, you'll lose a little bit of the downforce on your car because of the draft, but that's not going to be a huge factor. The main issue is going to be getting past them.
Absolutely.
And he's gotten past him fine.
Yep. Thomas gets by Dimitri without any incident whatsoever, catching him in a really good spot on the straight there, so he's able to just kind of sail on through and continue his race.
Because you're currently one position behind Paul Todd. Somebody's off on the front straight.
Oh, it's Nathan Hodgins.
Nathan, what's he doing?
Oh, he disconnected.
Oh, he's disconnected. No. Trouble.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That sucks. Man.
Val closing into Doug Newman a little bit here. About 2 seconds now. So Val seems to have gotten himself sorted. Running much faster lap times now, faster than anybody else in the circuit, I believe. 49.2 was his last lap. Yeah, I think he's the fastest man on track right now.
Man, that is unfortunate. Nathan Hodgins, I don't know if he is permanently disconnected from the server. He might reappear in a second. We did not get a disconnect message. So it might just be a desync. He's listed as having rejoined. I don't know.
He is still following in the order, and he's not on track. Yeah, he's in the pits now, so unfortunately that's going to be a lost lap for Nathan.
That does suck. Actually, as it stands right now, I'm not actually sure if he is down a lap. He's about to be, but... There he goes. He's now officially down a lap. Stopping on the front straight, let everybody by and gets back up to speed. It's unfortunate. Not how you want your season to end for Nathan.
Absolutely not. I mean,
these
are the kinds of things, unfortunately, you know, not much we can do. That's just the nature of sim racing, right? You know, sometimes you have a network issue, and you know, it's the way it goes.
That sucks too. He was a decent contender in the rear-wheel drive championship. Well, actually, not really, but I mean, he might have even been a decent contender in the overall championship. Let me double check. Yeah, he was third, so he at least could have gotten some points, even though he couldn't have actually won it. That is unfortunate. Now he's just out there for the spirit of it. Rozier is now half a second behind Paul Todd. Passing him would just help the serve and put more cars between him and Brady. Remember, Brady has to finish 2 places ahead of Cozier to win the rookie championship.
Absolutely. Cozier about only 5/10 off Paul Todd and catching now. So we'll see. Probably going to make his move soon. Running through Spoon here.
The other thing too is
tidy. Good exit.
As it stands, Paul sits third in the championship. If Paul can put another car between him and Coaster, he will at least take second. not looking too likely as he slowly falls back to Gozier. Through 130R, let's see how much of a pace difference it is. Not a ton. But you're closing up hard through the chicane.
Absolutely, just an absolute menace on the brakes, although getting kind of a poor exit. And Paul Todd's going to be able to drive away a little bit, although not for too long. Draft going to come into play late in the straight here. As we see that delta kind of starting to come down a little bit. Not quite.
Not a whole lot. Val only second behind Doug Newman closing.
Yeah, Val's been just absolutely on it, doing consistent 49s. Guys in front of him. I mean, Thomas has been doing 49s as well, the leader of the race. Doug's been really struggling with his tires, I think. He's only been doing kind of like low 50s. So it's kind of pulling him right back into Val's clutches here. Although Thomas Langiel, currently the standout, putting a lot of air between himself and second place. So really excellent race from him so far.
Absolutely, Doug. Val closing up a ton of time through Spoon. Val probably going to be within draft range. Might not be able to use the draft to get past him, but at least be able to use the draft to gain some time.
He is getting there, 2/10 now.
Big run through 130R. Goes way wide, has to get out of the gas. Almost a huge one for Val. Going to maybe try an over-under. Not sure how well it's going to work. Oh, it would have worked if he didn't slide it. Slides it once, slides it twice. But he is close enough to attack into turn one.
And he'll get the draft now. Some quality suck happening there.
Yep. Dimitri has pit. I'm not sure why.
Val getting on through Doug. Doug on the inside there, not quite. Val going to give him the space. Oh, Val going onto the grass.
Holds it straight. Rozier has pit from 7th. This is big. Let's see how long this stop's going to be. Really the first of our front runners to stop, with no disrespect to Dimitri intended.
None taken. On behalf of Dimitri.
Dimitri is still in the pits. A 5.8 second stop from Kozier, so we're going to see some quick pit stops in this race. Where Suzuka relatively has a pretty short pit lane. Mathematically, as it stands, never mind, it's the exact same. As it stands, Paul Todd takes second, though.
Absolutely. Which is a great result from him.
I mean, we're going to have pit cycles, but...
Absolutely.
Doug Newman, 0.4 seconds behind Val, coming up the back straight. Looking to maybe try and tuck into that slipstream. Has to get out of the gas for 130R. Interesting, he might be struggling with those front tires. His last lap was a 151. I mean, he was battling, but that's still a couple seconds off the pace. Thomas, our leader, is in the pits.
Yep, Thomas going to the pits now for his stop. Val's going to steam by.
That's
Thomas in his box. Let's see how long it takes. Pretty quick stop.
Pretty quick stop. Now, that being said, if Val's staying out, that means Thomas is going to be trying the 3-stop strategy. So Val might be trying the 2-stop. Paul Todd comes in.
Dale Santabana as well coming into the pits.
Looking like our pit window's open for the 3-stoppers. I know the drivers said the tires were really quite cliffy, especially when the tires dropped into the red zone on the wear. So it'll be interesting to see how long it's... Ooh, not a good stop for Paul Todd. That was almost 8 seconds.
Daniel Santabana is able to close up quite a bit of room between the two. Going to come out in 8th and 10th, respectively. Gerald going to split the two drivers.
Come out in 9th. Doug Newman now 5 seconds up the road from Val. I think he just got really screwed over by that lap traffic. Such is the nature of these endurance races.
Yeah, I guess we completely missed that.
Brady has gotten past Kosier. And this is big news. If Brady can put one more car between him and between him and Kosier, he will take the rookie championship.
Yep. Keep in mind here, Brady is yet to pit. Kosier coming out of the pits on his previous lap. So he does have a pit stop in hand at the moment.
This will be an interesting bit of strategy because Brady's still got to stop. So Brady's advantage here might be just to hold him up as much as possible, doing a bit of defending through 200R.
Into Spoon, he's going to give him the inside. Oh, going to run way wide there.
See if Kosier... I don't know if I would have been battling him as Kosier. I might have just sat behind him because the battling is going to wear your tires up a bit more and risk an incident. If you know he's going to have to stop in a couple laps, you might be better off just sitting behind him.
Absolutely.
That's what Brady's thinking there.
Really
lifting
just
off.
Lift, coast.
Whoa, way wide.
Zoom around, almost run over the camera.
Brady getting a great run through into 130R, but lifted off before it, realizing he's going to have to stop. There's no point in trying to race him. Risk a wreck and still have to pit. You don't want to slow down twice. Daniel Santabana is battling Gerald Nemhard down the front straight. If my predictions are correct, Doug Newman will be pitting this lap along with pretty much everybody else who has not stopped. Tank's not the biggest in this car. It is a formula car. It's kind of meant for sprints, so we're using it for an endurance race.
Daniel Santabana is getting the move done on Gerald. Gerald moved down in 10th place. Pretty clean move from Daniel Santabana there. I'm sure he'll be happy to be up in the 9th and getting another one of those precious points.
Yeah, I'm going to get on by there.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Doug Newman as he's getting around Alex Milo here. Some lap traffic coming into 130R. We'll see if he comes in for his pit stop.
Somebody got into the grass on the back straight. I don't know who that was. Might have been Giuliano. Doug Newman still not stopping. Interesting. Might have saved a bit. Val is coming in, though.
Yeah, Val is in the pits.
Coming in.
I wish there were pit stop animations right now. That'd be better.
Pulls into the box and stops.
Big screech.
Putting new tires on him. Putting some fuel in it. Pretty long stop, almost a 9-second stop from Val. Might have taken fuel, a little bit of fuel and tires.
Yeah, Doug gonna be all the way into the S's. Actually coming out of Dunlop. So Val's got his work cut out for him coming out of the pits here. Although Doug is yet to stop, we'll see how this all shakes out. Jackson now up in 4th place. Thomas just ahead of him, come through Dunlop now with some lap traffic in front of him in the form of Giuliano. And then Joseph Yang just ahead of him, coming towards the hairpin now. So now we're going to see with Doug Newman coming through 200R. See what's going on there with his pit stop. We'll keep an eye on it. James Santabana is actually closing up on Paul Todd up ahead.
Gonna say.
Within 0.4 of a second right now.
Daniel, I believe, might be on some slightly fresher tires. I can't remember. Has Daniel stopped yet? He's either on a lighter car or fresher tires. Daniel has stopped, so it might be on fresher tires than Paul. Paul's one of the first cars to stop. So he just sends it through the first Egnar curve. 0.3 seconds behind. Doug Newman with a comfortable lead.
Yeah, did Doug box? Let's see.
Doug still hasn't pit. He's confident in his tires.
Tall Todd's gonna get a bad exit out of the hairpin, and Daniel Santabana is just gonna slip right through. Says thank you very much. I'll take that 8th place.
So I apologize, I got the numbers wrong. The current best strategies are either 2 stops with approximately 19 laps on a stint, or 3 stops at 14. So he will probably pit either this lap or the lap after.
Joseph
I know
Yang ducks in now.
That checks out.
Now
5th, that's not bad. Pretty healthy place to come out in with a fresh set of tires and fuel. I know we've said it the last couple laps, but Doug Newman will probably pit this lap with the refined number of 19 laps.
We will see. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I'm a gambler. I wouldn't put money on it, though. To be fair, he was supposed to pit the last couple laps. Last I checked.
He's got to stop for fuel sometime.
Paul Todd only a half second behind Daniel to battle for 8th. As it stands, Gozer will win the rookie championship. Currently watching from the onboard cameras from my perspective. Appreciate cars that have good onboard cameras. This is pretty cool. They've got the right beside the driver's head camera. You see in a lot of broadcasts. F1 used to have it. I don't know if they still have it. I think they have the one on top of the camera. Alex Milo has gone off
they have
on
the
the
T-bar there.
back straight?
That's a very strange spot. Thomas can slip on through.
I don't know how you do that.
Doug is staying out.
He's still staying out. Interesting. To be fair, it did say approximately 19 laps.
He's doing this to spite you, I'm sure.
I don't think he can do it past like 20 or 21. I don't really think it will be viable, even though it is a hard compound tire. They are very cliffy. The pace kind of just drops off. I mean, he's doing 158s. Thomas on fresh tires is doing 149.3s. Jackson's pitting on he did 152. Doug Newman might have just been a bit better at saving tires than we thought. Might be stretching too, just to ensure that he can do a 2-stop. Or maybe he's embracing the clean air he's got. He's really got probably about, I'd estimate, almost 10 seconds for the next car in front of him.
Absolutely. He's just kind of reveling it out. Oh, Thomas, I don't know if the relative's going bananas. Relative is going bananas, but
What's Thomas up to?
he's vibing. About 7 seconds behind.
Hairpins do be like that. Matt Alexander pits in the orange and black machine. That's such a nice car. I'm just saying that because all my paints look like that, though.
Yeah, Phil in the pits as well.
Phil is in the pits.
Bunch of cars in the pits.
Phil stops as Matt Alexander leaves.
Dimitri in the pits.
Double. Yeah, he's been there for a while.
He's vibing in the pits.
Matt Alexander.
Oh, Phil almost getting into the pit garage.
Did he lose it?
Almost. Ooh, look at this. Paul Todd on Daniel Ibanez. 0.2 of a second.
He's thinking about it. Laszlo pits as we watch Paul Todd and Daniel. They're going at it.
Ooh, Paul Todd.
Paul Todd, what was that?
I think he lost the rear there and just clutched in and
lost out of the hairpin, locked it down, keeps it going.
Keeps it going, but big oof. That is now a 3-second gap compared to half a second. Nathan Hodgins, I mean, 16th place. You know, that's considering he disconnected. That's not too shabby at all.
That's respectable.
Absolutely, and only about 11 seconds off of Lee Larson. I mean, we could very well see this guy finish 13th, 14th place, maybe.
Would be
entirely possible.
Gotta get those points. I mean, it don't really matter or anything, but I mean, get those points. To be honest, just do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to just do comeback drives. Brady's pitting at a 7th. Stops in the box. Remember, this is Brady's first stop, I believe. Is it Brady's first stop? Yes, this is Brady's first stop. So that's 20 laps. It's quite long. Brady stalls it on the pit exit a bit.
Uh-oh.
Might have still had third gear selected. It's unfortunate. Troy is in the pits. We haven't talked about Troy a lot. Let's get a Troy update.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Troy, it's because Troy's making his debut, isn't it?
Yes, this is his first race as part of the series.
Yeah, Troy's just doing a test race, just working the car out. Recently acquired the chassis, looking to take it into next season.
Yeah, I think a recent Assetto Corsa purchaser as well, so just getting up to speed with things.
Just doing some dev work, you know, getting the car set up, getting your tire pressures figured out.
Yeah, I mean, for his first outing, seems to be doing a really good job. I mean, up in the 13th place.
Yeah, he's in 13th.
Yeah, not too shabby at all from Troy.
Better than I would have been running. Doug Newman finally pits on 21 laps of fuel with an hour and 1 minute left.
What a madman.
And a little bit.
What a madman.
Doug Newman
Comes into the
stops.
pits. We'll see how long this stop is. Imagine it's going to be longer than most, considering he ran that tank down quite a bit. Ooh!
Almost an 8-second stop.
Yeah.
Not unheard of. We've seen longer stops.
Oh, I see the Seek and Destroy livery's got the kill count on the side of the wing there.
Oh, I believe you mean the races one count.
The races
That's
one
not
count.
accurate, but
The reminds me of the initial D. Can't remember the name of that team. But
yeah,
the Evos.
Team Emperor.
Yeah, Team Emperor.
Man.
Yeah, that's some.
That always seemed like the macho team that was like
right?
lame. I don't know. I didn't finish initially, but I remember seeing it being like, that's cool, but like, that's kind of cringe.
I just remember Lan Avo, and they're just talking about anti-lag the entire time, and then every time we go to the
pretty much. Doug Newman with an insane move.
That was pretty wild.
Through some lap traffic. Val gonna get held up by said lap traffic.
I mean, the story of the race really. Doug Newman coming to the pits. Thomas Langiel just clear of everybody by like 15 seconds.
And it's unfortunate for Val. It's Laszlo and Lee, and these guys are both battling for position.
Oh, yo, mamma mia, you gotta be.
There. Oh, Val sends it in.
Val sends it. Lee doesn't see him there and gets. He just gets bounced off the apex.
Oh man, a bit of an ambitious move from Val. I'd have to see it again to figure out who's at fault, but an unfortunate incident. Lee just trying to battle for some places. Only going to lose one, though, but he's going to have a lot of ground to make up. Thomas is still staying out on his three-stop strategy. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out for him.
Absolutely. He's had just an awesome race so far. I mean, he's clear of Doug by an astounding amount of time, frankly, for 40 minutes in this race to be 15 seconds clear of your nearest rival. It's just a clinical drive so far. And on a PB lap, this lap.
What's especially unfortunate, I wanted to say earlier from Nathan's disconnect, is he is the current leader of the Consistency Championship. Now, his disconnect lap obviously will not be counted, but he's going to have less laps completed, so therefore he's going to have to be more accurate on those laps in order to have a better score.
Yep.
So, hopefully not the death blow in his campaign for the most consistent champion, but a pretty dominant performance from him. I don't want to say it seems locked away, but it seems pretty locked away. The only person contesting him for that is Val. And even just looking across the rounds real quick. Let me look at the rounds real quick. I think Nathan's pretty much more consistent in almost every round. Yeah, he basically is. With the exception of the last two rounds, Nathan has been more consistent than Val in every round.
Yeah, and I mean, Val, other than obviously, Nathan having that disconnect is awful for him, but I mean, Val hasn't had the easiest race today either, so we'll see how that shakes out for him. Yeah.
Now, do you want to know what's the most interesting thing, and the reason why I love the Consistency Championship, even though it is kind of annoying to tabulate, but I love the Consistency Championship. We have an award for most consistent driver in every round. Nathan Hodgins leads the most consistent championship and has never received that award.
Dang. That's just dang.
So he truly is the most consistent. He's not just temporarily and selectively the most consistent. He is consistently the most consistent. Person who, in case we're curious, just because we're pulling up stats, person who has received the most consistent awards is actually tied between Gaglione and Doug Newman with 2 each. Gags was most consistent for Hockenheim and the Glen. Doug Newman was most consistent for Calabogie and Surfers Paradise. And that was a race. I'll tell you what.
It certainly was.
Surfers really was a race. Man, the back half of this championship's really just been like pretty fun, honestly. I mean, everything's happening. Man, if only all the races could be like that next year. Maybe we'll do GT3s at grade 1 circuits. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah. Monza, Spa, Silverstone.
Yeah.
Barcelona.
GT3.
If I ever add Barcelona to the calendar,
Ooh.
something's gone wrong.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Catalonia's.
that track. See, the issue is that the track is the most mediocre track to exist.
It's
Like
certainly a track
every
where
race, every race I've seen from there is like, yeah. I mean, it didn't suck.
Catalonia is the most mid. It is so
it genuinely is the most
mid.
mid. It is Catalonia is the baseline
It's
for
just,
is a track good or bad?
like it's not bad enough where it's kind of like endearing in a way. It's just it's not, but it's not good.
It's just like
it's just so mid.
It really is, honestly. Like it's literally just like it's literally
what's a
just
track?
like
What's a track you think that's so bad that it's arguably good?
Zolder.
Yes.
So okay. That being said, I mean this respectfully to all the members of it's either is it Belgium or is it in the Netherlands?
Zolder's Netherlands, I believe.
In the Netherlands. I mean this respectfully to all the Dutch people out there. Zolder is the worst track in the world, one of. But it's funny because it's atrocious, right? That being said, I did a 23-hour race at Zolder. It is the only time in sim racing history that I've not had fun sim racing. It felt like a task. It was a charity race though, but
yeah,
it was the most laborious. Like I felt like I should have been paid for it.
Yeah,
that's how bad it was.
There's no flow to it.
Because it's all chicanes, right?
Chicanes.
But that's kind of the appeal. Is it's all chicanes, right? I mean, if you fundamentally, and I mean this with no disrespect, if you look at Montreal's just chicanes. I mean, it's got a couple corners. Montreal's just chicanes, right? But Montreal's a good track because it just kind of it works well.
I've been tortured by Montreal in the past, doing PESC, the Porsche. Canadian, yeah, that was
That's on you, buddy.
So that's my fault. So I mean, Montreal to watch a race at, fantastic. Montreal to drive on when you're chasing a time attack leaderboard.
That sucks, actually. Yeah,
not so much.
Chicane tracks to try and chase time are one of the worst things you could do. Because it's just like, how late can you brake? Next question.
Essentially, but also just like, you have to get the perfect ride over the sausage curb on the chicane, and like not upset the car.
It. Yeah,
and
get lucky by the
and get
lucky.
Physics. No.
I'll tell you what though.
None of this.
If we're talking about so are we still talking about tracks that are bad, but that's the endearing part of it? So, this is gonna rustle some jimmies, and I mean this with I mean this with full disrespect because I don't care about people's opinion, right? As a track, regardless of the history, right? Sebring sucks.
Oh, I was just gonna say it. Thank you.
Sebring sucks.
Oh god, Sebring is so bad.
It's flat.
It's flat.
There's bumps.
Bumpy. It's it's kind of boring. Like it's like the long boring straight and like just a bunch of weird squiggly narrow. No.
Also, really important. Philip just made a mistake out of that hairpin, and now Troy's in second or 12th rather, not second.
Go Troy.
Sebring sucks. The history, Sebring is historic. It's birthplace of sports car racing in North America. It's a European airfield circuit, but in the United States, I don't. If you know about the history of motorsports, I don't have to tell you why Sebring is a good track. If you don't know about the history of motorsports, I have to try and explain to you why Sebring is a good track. You know what I mean? Because you just look at me like this track sucks.
You gotta say
flat, and there's a whole bunch of bumps everywhere.
You end up just going, but the history.
Well, but if we look at the history of it, with Dan Gurney in the 60s, it's like, the track sucks.
The track sucks.
But
Tom's going wide there.
But
through Casino, getting a little loose on exit there, gets it going again. Anyways, back to Sebring. Yes, objectively as a track,
in life, you have to accept people for their faults, and that's why people accept Sebring, right?
Yes.
But Sebring fundamentally is not a good track. I'm now checking the YouTube chat to see if I'm getting flamed for it. I'm still going. I'm like the Bill Burr bit where he's upset in Philadelphia and he just keeps laying in Philadelphia.
3 minutes.
I'm not done. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Go watch that after this race if you haven't seen it. It's excellent.
What else we got? What else? Some other tracks that are bad that are good? Anything you can think of? Well, I think. I can go on for this topic for the next 51 minutes and 29 seconds.
I may or may not get roasted for this. I actually don't think Silverstone's that great. I'm gonna be honest.
I see your appeal because it's a flat track.
Yeah, I prefer the pre.
I prefer the pre 2009
layout.
Yeah.
where
I get that.
the start finish was on the just before Cops,
Yep.
and then the whole arena
Oh
section
yeah,
was way
wow.
better.
I entirely forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
so that just that minor change there, and then like just having the start finish before Cops, and then the arena section had a bit more
Oh,
like technical sections was way better. I find like now with the F1ification, it's no, I'm not a fan of that layout at all.
big news. Alex Malone has spun in the S's. But he's continued.
Spaghetti-o.
Hey, I don't want to be doing that.
Absolutely not. Do you know what? There's a lot of like.
No, I get it. I
Honestly,
get it.
on like it's funny.
But
If
once
you think about
again,
the F1 calendar, there's a lot of tracks that are like okay, hear me out. Monaco is a garbage track to race on, especially
Monaco,
for F1
yeah.
because the new cars are so wide.
We're just going into it,
It's just utter trash. But it's Monaco, right? Like the casinos and then the water and the yachts.
Call in from the chat. Ren says the Nordschleife is a bad track. I want to hear your take on it. I want Ren to explain.
Yes.
I get what he's saying, but that statement in itself is not a good statement.
No, you know what?
We're clapping back.
I feel like it's okay. So the Nordschleife, and I do have a soft spot for it because me and my team, we won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring last year. On the 24-hour layout, so the GP circuit and the
not a big deal,
and the Nordschleife layout. So I have an immense appreciation for the track. I think it's overrated as hell, though. I'm gonna be honest. It's so like.
I think it is
amazing
overrated.
track, but so overrated because it's like everyone's so.
I think it is great. I actually think it is great, but I agree that it is overrated.
All that anybody cares about is like, oh, the Nürburgring. Oh, what does it do around the Nürburgring? It's like that's like.
In the same way that
so many other great tracks. Like, Spa is half an hour from the Nürburgring. I'd rather drive Spa, I think, than
Spa's not half an hour from the Nürburgring.
It is.
No way.
I'm telling you.
By helicopter.
Even though it's in a different country, it's very, very close. I'm gonna Google Maps this right now.
That being said, I'm not. So here's the thing. I think
Val's off.
Oh
in
no,
the S's.
Val's wrecked. Oh, he's
disconnected.
Oh no! What'd he do? Val, come back, buddy.
Val's back.
Oh, he's back.
From the pits.
Val's back. Come on. He does have enough of a lead where he might be able to hop out. Close enough. Remember, let's look at the rear-wheel drive championship. Huge championship implications.
So what was it? Val had to finish lower than 9th?
Well, let's look at it. Val's in the pits, and he's going to come out in 13th. Val has to finish 9th or lower. So if Val can make up 5 spots, which frankly is quite achievable for Val. He can get as it stands, Doug Newman. Well, actually, hang on. Doug Newman has to be 9 places ahead of Val.
Which currently
is.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, I misspoke. So it's not half an hour, but it is much closer than you think. Guess how close it is?
Couple hours.
A little less.
1 hour. Hour and a half.
Right in the middle. Hour and a half. Correct.
Okay.
It is an hour.
They should do a road rally between them.
Honestly, probably two of the greatest tracks in Europe, at least, if not the world, are literally an hour and 29 minutes away from each other.
That's crazy, though.
It's pretty bananas.
That's crazy, though. But Watkins Glen is not an hour and a half from Le Mans. I'm kidding. Just say that and walk off the broadcast and watch it explode. Now, Ren has defended himself. He says it's just too long. I'll do 1 lap and be happy. That's fair.
That's
fair.
I
respect that. I think the issue is we need to stop bench. And this is a soapbox. Dave Despain's wind tunnel or car.
I'm about it. Bring back Dave Despain.
We need to stop judging cars based off of their Nordschleife lap exclusively. I think we should still do it, but not exclusively. Like, if your car drives on the road like garbage and is crap reliability, but is 10 seconds faster on the Nürburgring, I don't care. Because I'm not driving on the Nürburgring.
Nobody's going to be going to the Nürburgring every day, like, on the track. Be realistic. Well, it's the same people, like, with, like, 0 to 60 times and, like, Teslas, and be like, oh, my Tesla has the launch, like, lightning poo-poo plaid mode, and it does 0 to 60 in, like, a blink of an eye, and it's like, yeah, but, like, what about them brakes, my dude?
Yeah. I think there's something to be said for and against the Nürburgring, but I would generally say I think the Nürburgring is a good track, not just because of history.
Yes.
I agree though, it is a bit long. The main issue is that when you get an off track and you got to wait 5 minutes to try it again.
Yup.
Brent saying Willow Springs is a terrible track.
Willow Springs sucks. No,
I wouldn't say it's terrible. I would
do you know what? Okay, do you know what the big secret is?
What's the big secret? The big secret is that Thomas has pit and he's in third.
Streets of Willow is way better than Big Willow.
True.
Streets of Willow is fantastic. Big Willow is just a bunch of ugly, weird, reducing radius sweepers and no, not
Big
fun.
Big Willow is like Riverside, but if it sucked, you know. Anyway, I just want to point out Thomas did pit. Doug Newman leads.
Yep. Doug Newman now having a healthy lead over Joseph Yang, 15 seconds, and then another 16 seconds there, so 30 seconds over Thomas. Doug, I mean, a 30-second. If Doug only has to stop one more time, this might play into his hands. We'll see.
I'm going to say something controversial. I'm going to say something controversial that's going to get me kicked off the broadcast, right? Sonoma is a good track.
Okay.
Hating on it.
Stop reading my mind. I was literally going to say Sonoma is so underrated.
Sonoma is underrated.
It's so underrated. It's so much fun.
Layouts, the old NASCAR layout where they bypass the carousel, and the actual carousel layout. People call it the IndyCar layout. I call it the IMSA layout.
Yep.
Both of those are perfectly fine. People hate it on the NASCAR layout because it's just shortcut.
No, because
the NASCAR layout
the NASCAR
itself
layout
is fun.
It's well suited to the stock cars. You're not gonna have you're not gonna have those stock cars running through the carousel, banging doors. Like it's kind of a little bit narrower there.
At least not well.
No, it makes some more sense, and honestly, it gives a really good braking zone on the right-hander there, onto the back stretch. It's rowdy. It's really rowdy. My favorite memory of Sonoma is honestly NASCAR '99 when it was called Sears Point, and I used to just kind of drive off the track at turn 1 and try to jump it off the giant berm.
Hit the...
That was the good stuff right there. But that's Sonoma, great track.
Nathan Hodgins has pit. I just want to point out we've had a couple position changes. Paul Todd's up to 5th. Kozier's in 6th. Daniel Santabanas is in 7th. Kozier's doing a little bit of battling through the, what do you call it, 130R.
Yeah, can I get another shout out to another Japanese track that absolutely slaps? And I'm not talking about Suzuka, Tsukuba, although Tsukuba absolutely slaps. Probably one of my favorite tracks as well.
Yeah, I think for wheel-to-wheel racing, it's kind of awkward. It's a bit small. Right.
It's
clearly
but if
a
you
motorcycle
put 5
track.
Japanese racing drivers / journalists in a bunch of K crap cans and have them go wheel to wheel like best motoring, it's magic.
Well, yeah, but that's best motoring.
Anyways, back to it. Sorry, track that's really underrated in Japan. Twin Ring Motegi is very underrated. It doesn't get talked about enough.
I wish they fixed the
oval slaps. It's a little bit wonky because. Is it 1 and 2 that are narrower, or 3 and 4?
I think it's 1 and 2 are narrower.
Yeah, it's kind of wonky. They used to do IndyCar there, right?
They did do IndyCar. That's where Danica Patrick got her first and only career win.
Yeah, that's very true.
That was the final Indy Racing League race because it was the same weekend as
the final IRL race.
The final IRL race, because it was also the same weekend as the final Champ Car race, which was at Long Beach.
That's wild. Before they consolidated to IndyCar, right?
Yeah, they were reunifying, but teams had already committed to both because they were such a high-profile event. So they said you can run in either, and we'll give you points for either one.
Nice.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Also go back and watch that race if you guys ever get the chance. That actually is a really good race. Man, I miss Motegi. Man.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I mean, honestly,
what's
like the road
now?
course
It's called
layout.
It's called like Mobility Resort.
Yeah.
Motegi or something.
Yeah.
It's Twin Ring Motegi.
Yeah.
But
the road course layout, love it. Really similar to Suzuka in the fact that there's a lot of elevation. You have a good mix of kind of mid, high speed, and low speed corners. You do get a chicane. I'm trying to think. Last couple corners last corner is a chicane, so chicane's in there. You get some double apex corners.
That's true.
You get you get a cross under a bridge. The track goes kind of over itself.
So it is a figure 8.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's the the oval bit.
Yeah. Either way, Twin Ring Motegi, you got to drive that more often. It's a good track. You got to trust me on that.
Maybe we'll go to Motegi next year.
Oh, you know what? Okay, sorry.
There's a really good paid mod for Motegi.
On a set of course. I think it's called like they call it something else because of whatever, but it's because of the licensing issues, whatever. I just have it in iRacing. Regardless, I digress. Another great Japanese track that is like nobody knows, and it's the only sim that it's in like officially is like Project Cars is Sugo. Sportsland Sugo. It's fantastic.
Fun fact, Sugo. This is because I'm apparently like, you know, just the dictionary for motorsports. Sugo holds the record for the closest Super GT and Super Formula finishes.
Really?
Yeah, Super Formula was like 2,000th of a second.
My goodness.
Like it was, yeah, they just drag raced out of the final corner.
That's why. That's honestly.
I think it was
like
in the wet too. It was insane.
NASCAR grade finish.
Oh, Sugo is an incredible track.
Yeah, Sugo's fantastic. That big downhill back straight is bananas.
Yeah, for me it's the final corner.
Final corner is great too. Yeah, that big sweeper and then up the hill. Oh, it's something else.
Let's get a race update because we've been talking about other things for.
Yeah, we've been talking shop for a little while.
Gladly go back. Doug Newman leads. Joseph Yang is in second. Thomas is in third. Jackson fourth. Paul Todd fifth. Kozier is in sixth.
Fifth. Like, dude, good for Paul Todd.
As it stands, Kozier finishes. As it stands, Kozier wins the championship.
Absolutely, Brady though, 8th place. I mean, not too shabby at all. These the rookies, the 3 rookies in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is actually an incredible showing for the rookies. And it doesn't seem like it's on pit cycles either. Where did I put my water? I grabbed a full glass of water. Found it. Ooh, I just punched my monitor. That's not fun.
Big ouch.
The corner.
Okay. Screen is safe. Operational. That's what's important.
Actually, I had a weird thing. I was plugging in the display port earlier today, and it just like wouldn't turn on. I was like, okay. And then I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and it just turned on.
Yeah, no.
That was weird. It turned on. It like hesitated a little bit, like almost as if it was like broken. Like it was just getting weird, like screen tearing, like the flashing colors, and then it just stopped, and it hasn't done it since. So
Very interesting.
It's good. Yeah. The more you know. Matt Alexander's only half a second behind Brady.
Yeah, Matt Alexander really kind of closing that gap down quite a bit. Seems to have the pace on him now. Only 5/10, going to be down to 4, I bet, by the end of this section here.
This will be interesting to see how things work. Remember, our 3-stopper guys are going to be stopping in a couple laps, but our 2-stoppers, they're not stopping until about 7 laps from now.
Absolutely, 38 minutes left in this race. Matt Alexander closing that
We're really
gap.
getting down to it.
Oh, goodness, having a horrible exit out of the hairpin there and just looping it straight into the wall. Manages to kind of shake it off, keep going, get it going again. And although Troy now going to be well within distance here to make a move either on the exit of Spoon onto the back straight or through 130R or maybe the chicane. We'll see. Troy just kind of chugging along here, right along with him as he tries to get a good exit out of Spoon. Keeps it nice and tidy on the apex there, seeming to get a decent run. He's going to start to close in now on Matt Alexander as the draft starts to do its thing. Or not. I guess the the Assetto Corsa draft is very strange, and I think it's something that we struggled with all season. I think you need to be within like 3/10 for it to do anything at all.
It's an aspect of the netcode too. Walter disconnects. That's unfortunate.
Absolutely. All right, Troy getting through chicane. Really not making up any ground on Matt Alexander. He's going to try to stay tight to the inside. This is a 51.7. Matt Alexander with a 2-minute lap time due to his little spin that he had there at the hairpin.
Ozier's cashing up to the back of Paul Todd. He's saying, no, sir, you will not have 3rd place in the championship. Or he might even just be trying to put another car between him and Brady. At this point, it's not really about the points in that regard. It's not about the points Kozier earns, it's about the points Brady earns. Paul Todd right on the back, or Kozier right on the back of Paul Todd coming through Spoon.
Ooh, he's gonna have to check up a little bit there. Got a little eager on exit there. Paul Todd's gonna get a better exit, but Kozier is now, 2/10, so well within draft range, according to Assetto Corsa. So he's gonna pull on the outside. Does he get it done? Comes through 130R.
Gets on the brakes, gives it to him.
Gives it to him.
Kozier to 5th. He's only got to make up 2/10 of a lap to Jackson. A pretty tall feat. No, I'm joking. He's gonna make up 3 seconds to Jackson. Jackson's gonna make up 2/10 of a lap to Jackson.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I just saw Jackson zip by.
Forgot how to read.
There's
Yeah.
Jackson, and there's Cozier.
It's only been 8 weeks of me doing this, and all of last season. So cut me some slack.
Yeah, I know we're not experienced.
Giuliano
except we are.
Past Lee Larson.
Yeah, Lee Larson down in the battle for 17th. Lee's gonna get a run here on the straight though. He might get that position back. Oh yeah, look at that toe. Some good stuff. Gets ahead into 16th. He'll have the inside. Trailing down. Giuliano get a much better run there, but gonna have to check up.
And I mean, just a textbook turn 1 move from Lee.
Some good stuff there.
As textbook as you can be at Suzuka. Doug Newman just, I don't want to jinx it, but just walking the field on the 2-stopper.
Absolutely. I mean, Thomas really flying with the pace he's got now, 49.5 currently. But I mean, 0.6 of a second per lap is not going to be enough, I think, over the last 35 minutes to be able to make up that time. He's 27 seconds away, and he may have to stop again, I believe. So it's a big ouchie for him.
Might have to. Anybody who's done on the 3-stop strategies probably already stopped. It's supposed to be stopping around lap 28. Next pit window that opens is going to be 44. Nope.
Well, I wonder if Brady had an issue or something. Matt Alexander was closing quite a bit of time there. Although it could be the relative just going cuckoo bananas.
I apologize. Lap 42 is going to be the 3rd and final stop. And that'll be real close to the end.
Absolutely.
It might even be a splash.
What do you say? 34 minutes left. Why don't we cut to commercial?
Run a real quick ad break. Oh, Paul Todd coming to the pits as we go to the ad break.
Yeah, Paul Todd in the pits. Daniel's going to pass him into 6th, and let's do our ad break. We will be back.
That pissed me off. That pissed me off too, because the Taycan test was another one that I struggled with.
Yeah, that one was that was at the Nürburgring, right? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
it was. Oh yeah, it was.
But it's an electric car. It's understandable.
Yeah, and it was the friggin' mini carousel. I hate that corner.
Yeah, that corner sucks.
It's my least favorite corner on the track.
They're annoying too because they're like off camber and over.
Yeah. And so that didn't take me too long, but still, like, it was annoying. Like just the mini carousel alone took me like 5-6 attempts. We are back, by the way. Just talking shop.
Hello.
Gran Turismo 7 license tests that we're kind of been chugging away at. Troy on Val here. Val 1/10 of a second, just right on Troy's gearbox here. Troy is going to let him have the inside, and I think that's our first move through the S's. Looks like it. Val's going to have the inside through Dunlop. Troy going to try to tuck in. Ooh, Troy right on Val's gearbox. This is awesome stuff.
It really is.
Battle for the top 10 position. Troy's going to jam on that brakes much earlier than Val. Val's going to be able to get away clean. Val going really wide. getting a little bit hoppy there as he rejoins onto the pavement, coming in through the hairpin. Both of them keeping it neat and tidy. And chugging along. Let's look at Koisier on Jackson. Oh man, Jackson into the pits, so Koisier's going to get that 4th place spot, although he had quite the run out of the chicane there.
Sorry, what was that?
We got 30 minutes, 28 seconds left in the race. Jackson ducked in the pits as well. Daniel Sandbanez ducks in the pits.
Yeah, pretty much. We got Jackson in the pits, Daniel's in the pits. Somebody else is leaving the pits. I don't know who that is.
Oh, Val and Matt Alexander. Val gets by, so Val's in 9th.
Val's in 9th.
So he's back in that position that he needs to be in.
Val needs to gain 1 place. Val needs to finish 8th or higher to win the rear-wheel drive championship.
Yep, Val is just closing. Daniel Sandbanez went in for his pit stop, so Val now just 2.7 seconds away. And I mean, putting in just absolute flyers. 49.455 is the last lap compared to the race leaders. 49.2 from Thomas, so Thomas actually has had the upper hand, I think, in pace overall in this race. Doug Newman 150.8, so you know, well off pace, but I mean, come on, the guy's got 27 seconds in hand. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
he's just cruising.
He can get it done. So he'll probably come in about 2 laps.
Ooh, Lee Larson, Giuliano getting into it. Giuliano getting pushed. No room for him to go, and he goes off track at the hairpin there. It was a little cheeky from Lee Larson. A little cheeky, but he gets going again. He's going to have to make that time up. As he gets nice on the grass there, using the special line through 200R. Got through Spoon here.
Newman probably pitting in a lap and a half. Everybody else should be pitting 2 laps after. We now get to the weird part where technically the 2 stoppers will be stopping first. With 28 minutes left, that means Doug Newman will be pitting with around 24 minutes left. Everybody else at around 20 minutes to go. That's not, you can't really stretch it from that point. But it won't have to be at full stop.
Yeah, these stops should be much quicker this cycle as the guys load up fuel and some fresh tires for the end of the race.
Got Alexander in the pits now. Slide into a stop. I briefly forgot I had my my window open and just got that halight scared out of me. Doug Newman comes through turn 1.
Yeah, Doug just cruising, just absolutely just.
Yeah, I mean Doug. I mean just that's all he needs. Val is in 9th. Val's 1.1 seconds away from being in a position where he will be able to take the rear-wheel drive championship.
Thomas doing a 49.8. Thomas doing a 50. Val doing a 50.3 his last lap. He is closing on Daniel Sandbanez, however, and he's on for a PB lap by the looks of it. Looking at his delta, slight advantage, I'm sure, the tow that he's going to get from Daniel through the 3rd sector and 4th sector of this track is going to make a pretty big difference on that delta.
Somebody ahead of them might have had an incident coming out of the hairpin. Don't quite know who it was. Val closing way up on Daniel, carrying so much speed through Spoon. Gonna get a ton of
Gonna get a free tow here.
Draft. Yeah, there you go. Moves over to the right. Ooh, Daniel's squeezing him maybe a little bit too much. Coming up the back straight through 130R. Daniel goes way wide.
Yeah, Val gonna get through very clean. He's gonna be approaching Giuliano very quickly here.
Val is in 8th.
Oh,
Oh, Val gets into Giuliano. Oh, no. That puts him back in 9th. That is not enough for the rear-wheel drive
But
championship.
doesn't matter. He's going to pit anyways. I think just with that, I mean, he may as well just ditch that run up the straight and just slide into the pits. I think that's a damage limitation and try to get the minimal time loss on his part. Kind of a smart move, if we're honest.
Yeah, a pretty heads-up move. He's going to miss the pit box, so that's not going to help.
Well, put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse. A short stop. Doug Newman is also coming in the pits. So, in an odd turn of fate, Val will actually technically go a lap down here as the leader pits. Not for long, though.
Val's back out on track, rejoins just behind Matt Alexander here. Almost gets around him, but he does yield and concede that turn 2 to Matt Alexander. I'm sure he'll be back on his gearbox as we get to the S's here.
So I identified the wrong car. Val has not gone a lap down. It's actually somebody else. It might actually be me. Val is in 11th, though. Doug Newman is in 2nd. So as it stands, Val now has to finish 10th. Sorry, Val has to finish 10th or below for Doug Newman to take the rear-wheel drive championship.
Tantalizingly close to getting 10th place, which he does. Now, Val keeping his head down here. Ooh. Keeping his head down and getting a little bit of the sorts in the exit of the hairpin there. Needs to just do his best to chase Troy down, and I mean, it's going to be quite the task. He's 15, 16 seconds away, so he's really going to have to, you know, turn up the volume here, get the pace going, see if he can.
Brady is pitting ahead of him, though. Brady pitting ahead of him. If Val can get past him, that might be enough places.
Yeah, Val just come through 130 Rs.
Troy also pitting. All these guys on the 3-stop strategy are going to be stopping sooner. Or stopping coming up soon, rather.
So Val is going to get by, I believe.
Val is going to get past him.
Yep, Val's going to get past Troy. He is not going to get past Brady.
As it stands, Val does have enough places.
Thomas is yet to pit.
Championship. That's true.
So we will see how that shakes out. I mean, Doug well within range to take that lead from Thomas. Thomas, you know, obviously the strongest, honestly, on track all night that we've seen in terms of overall pace. But Doug, I think, with that 2-stop strategy, just really having the upper hand and not having to spend that time, you know, running through the pit lane and taking on fuel and tires. So this is really going to work in his favor.
Val gets up to 8th through the Degnar curves. That will be good enough for now. That'll be good enough, actually, even if Thomas pits. Brady
goes off there, rejoins back in 10th, lets Matt Alexander through.
I think he might have just locked it up. Doug Newman getting past the lapped car. I'm not sure who that is. I think it's Alex Milo. It's not Alex Milo. It's somebody else.
Gerald Nemhard.
Yeah, past
Lee Larson
Gerald.
as well.
Doug Newman. Even if Doug Newman gets the lead when Thomas pits, that won't be enough. Val sits in 8th. Doug Newman's only hope to hold on to the rear-wheel drive championship is for a Val mistake. We've seen crazier things happen. Now with an incredible comeback drive. Had the disconnect earlier, got back in. Got it going again. Able to gain back the, I think, about 5 places he lost from the disconnect.
Absolutely. Doug, I imagine in the next couple laps, he's going to be ducking. Is just going to be moving ahead in the lead as Thomas is going to have to duck to the pits very soon. As Thomas runs through turn 1 here. Doug really just staying within that 8 to 7 second gap.
And Val's got to be careful too, because Thomas is coming up behind him. Or he is closing a little bit. Got to think about how willing Val's going to be to let the leader by. If he lets the leader by, that's another position to Doug. If he fails to let the leader by, rather. If Doug Newman is able to gain that place on the stop, it is to Val's benefit. It is to Val's benefit to let the leader by as fast as possible and hope he has a quick stop.
Absolutely. Troy actually really close to Brady here for the top 10 as they round out the hairpin as well.
I mean, that being said, the gap between Doug and Thomas is about 8 seconds. Don't think he's going to get an 8-second pit stop done from time in to time out, so that might be inevitable.
Absolutely. I mean, our I guess we'll take a look at our standings here as we go through the last 20 minutes. Thomas Langille in first place currently. Doug Newman second place, about 10 seconds behind. And about 15 seconds behind him, Joseph Yang having a quiet but really solid race from him in third place. Jackson Oliveira as well, really strong race from him. Quiet, but you know, just keeping up the pace. Fourth place. Michael Coisier, as he kind of has a little bit of a rough patch through the doggone curves and gets back on track towards the hairpin, up into fifth after a bit of a rough start from him. Paul Todd as well. Great race from him, sixth place. Daniel Santibanez, seventh. Val, after a disconnect and a whole host of issues that plagued the start of his race, running a distant eighth place, but I mean top 10 nonetheless, despite having disconnected at one point during the race, which is a mighty impressive recovery drive from him. Matt Alexander running in ninth place. Troy 7 seconds down the road from him in 10th. 11th, we got our another rookie, Brady C here. He's been up and down the order today, but he's kind of settled in the mid-pack. Not too bad from him. Gerald as well has had his fair share of issues, but has settled in 12th. Nathan Hodgins here, actually going to pass Gerald here for 12th. He was running 13th before. Nathan also having a disconnect like Val, but having a bit of a rougher go in terms of working his way through the pack once he was able to reconnect. 14th place, Phil Oliveira as well. He's just chugging away here, having himself an okay race, a little bit of a couple off tracks, a little here's and there's, as with 15th place here, Laszlo Toth. 16th, we've got Giuliano Tretto, who, I mean, we've seen him get tangled up with a couple of drivers, but seems to be going along okay now as he comes in for his final pit stop. Lee Larson, 17th place. We got Alex Milo in 18th. Alex was running really good at one point, but seems to have had a whole host of issues through the middle stage of this race and has fallen down the order in 18th. Walter, I believe, is disconnected 19th, and Dimitri just vibing in the pits in 20th, and that rounds out our grid.
I've broken my game, but I'm back now.
This is good stuff. I just did a grid round down.
That works. Covered it up perfectly. I didn't even have to bring it up.
So we got the perfect cover. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't even have to bring it up. I don't know why I said that. As it stands, it looks pretty concrete for Val, but I don't want to jinx it by saying that. Even if Doug Newman's able to get past Thomas when he stops.
Absolutely, Thomas. Yeah, Thomas still yet to stop. I know it's going to be soon. We're seeing a lot of the three-stopper guys kind of coming to the pits over the last couple laps. I mean, Thomas has got to do it sometime.
I was watching Thomas to see if he might be fuel saving. Doesn't seem like it. Actually, don't know if anybody's saving.
Yeah, just sipping along here. Thomas running through Spoon. Trying to focus on getting a good exit here so he can catch that lap traffic, give him a little bit of a free draft.
Always nice. I am now just falling around and listening to see if anybody's saving fuel. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Thomas running through the Casio Triangle here. Staying out. Doug now coming through the Casio Triangle. I believe he's about I mean, relatives all over the place. It's really hard to track. I think he had a bit of a rough go out of the Casio Triangle.
Basically about a straightaway behind.
Yeah. Brady going to be able to get a run on Doug through there, actually. But will lift and queue up behind Doug as he's lapped down. Obviously, you don't want to be battling the lead cars for position if you are lapped down.
Absolutely. That being said, there is something to be said for racing to unlap yourself.
Very true.
Nothing wrong with it as long as you're respectful about it. And the championship contenders both run in the same car, but Thomas is looking pretty good in a car that is different to both of them. Might be doing it as a bit, just to flex on them. We got a gray car 3-4 though.
Yep. It's pretty decent.
Jackson going off at the Casio Triangle a little bit, kind of struggling for gears through there.
Yeah, I think that's going to bring Mike Koiser, much closer. He's going to be within 2 seconds, I bet, by the end of the straight, with Jackson being really compromised on the exit of the Casio Triangle. Doug losing quite a bit of time to Thomas now. Doug into the 51s now in his pace. Obviously with that rough exit of the Casio Triangle for him last lap. Thomas still in the 49s, 49.9. But he does still have to box. And right now, Doug is close enough. But Thomas is going to be on fresh tires.
Thomas ducking in behind lap traffic, gets a bit of the draft. Lap car getting out of the way. Lap traffic says see ya. Don't
Thomas
know who it
into
is.
the pits for his final stop.
Alexander.
So we're going to sit along with him, see how long this takes.
It'll be a quick splash. He did go a bit longer than expected. Might have tried to do a short long.
A splooshin' dash.
Doesn't really seem like it worked for him. Doug Newman will regain the lead. The real key is going to be
So quick stop,
Thomas.
but overall.
Oh, real quick stop.
Overall, we'll see.
Only lost one place.
Yeah, I mean, so he was about 10 seconds ahead of Doug Newman there, and rejoins about 11 to 12 seconds behind. So really, I mean, a pit lane time of 20, 21 seconds, 22 seconds. That's pretty stout.
That sounds about right.
Around Suzuka.
That's respectable.
So really good stuff. Now, like we were saying, Doug on pretty old tires. Thomas going to be on fresh boys. Obviously, he needs to get him up to temp for the first lap or two, but afterwards he'll be free to attack. So now, whether or not Thomas can, really keep that pace up lap over lap and catch Doug for the win, is going to be something very, very interesting to watch and see. Ooh, Thomas on his outlap loops it at the hairpin.
Oh no!
He's stuck in the wall, barely gets it going again. That might be the race. That might be the race. Joseph Yang, 8/10, 7/10 behind. Thomas obviously very compromised there. Just sitting and watching here. Joseph Yang running really wide on the SS spoon.
The battle for second heats up with 13 minutes to go. This race feels like it's flown by.
Absolutely. It's been quite the race. I mean, it's settled in at one point, but, as we've seen a lot in this endurance series, last 15 minutes or so, things could kind of get spicy, right? A lot of kind of position swap around. We see the differing strategies really emerge through the last stages of the race. And, I think it's something to say with the pressure as well. You're so close to the end. Obviously, these drivers have been racing for already almost an hour and a half. Over a stint like that, sometimes you tend to start to lose a little bit of focus, and you're definitely more prone to be making errors and mistakes, as what we saw with Thomas there on the exit of the hairpin. I mean, he's had a flawless race up to this point, but outlap, cold tires, and not too much longer left in the race, and already in an hour and 20 minutes-ish raced, an hour and a half almost. You get worn down, and you end up making errors. So up to Joseph now to capitalize that as the Thomas gets through Lee Larson up ahead. Joseph gonna get by before the hairpin. Lee is going to lift and let him through. Hard on the brakes here.
Yep, under a
Joseph
second.
taking a really tight line, but getting a poor exit, and Thomas is going to be able to run away back ahead. Now Doug.
Get an opposite lock.
Doug just almost at 130R at this point. And Thomas is just getting to Spoon, so I mean Doug is
up the creek. Doug is absolutely downrange, out of sight from Thomas.
Yeah, and I think he's on for a PB, at least in this race. Yep, does a 49.320. Slut is his best lap of the race. Really strong lap from him on supposedly worn tires, but you know, with the lighter fuel load balancing things out, and having a really clear track in front of him, I'm sure he's having a great old time. So just, you know, trying to put in these really fast times while you have that open air and a light fueled car, and you know, make sure that Thomas has no chance to fight back for that lead within the last 10 minutes. Joseph Yang still close behind, a little bit further than the last lap, but still 2 seconds within spitting distance. Val much closer to Daniel Ibanez as well. Val did a 4.93 his last lap, so very, very quick time from him. Ooh, going way wide at Spoon here. Gonna have to tuck in on the exit a little bit. It's gonna cost him a little bit of time, but seems to get a good run out of Spoon here. Closing a little bit more to Daniel Ibanez. This is something that might hot up before the end of this race. 9 minutes 40 seconds left. We can cut to one more ad break, and then we'll be back to launch the closing stage of this race. So stick around with us, and we'll see you guys.
Joseph Yang loses out of the hairpin.
Before we go to the break, let's take a look at that. If I can get my window open again. Oh man, rough luck for Joseph Yang.
Bit too much power coming out of the hairpin, and then just overcorrected, went off right, bounced off the wall, but keeps it going straight. He's going to hold on to third.
Yep, absolutely.
Kill his chances of getting to Thomas.
That's heartbreaking for him. I mean, he was within a second to Thomas for a little while there. Now 6.4. So, and Thomas now, you know, back into the groove here, doing 49s. So. Tough luck for Joseph Yang there. Had a potential for a second place position there to finish, but I mean, still in the podium. You just got to head down, keep pushing forward, and then just try to get to the end. I mean, 8 minutes left in the race, 8 minutes 30 seconds. You're in a podium spot. Just, you know, try to keep it neat, clean and neat and tidy, and just get to the end.
Al 0.7 seconds behind Daniel.
And closing.
Really? Yeah, just looking to kind of cement furthermore, get those couple places to just reassure that he wins the rear-wheel drive championship.
Yeah, Val will get a good run, really good run out of Spoon, and should get within draft range there of Daniel.
Doug Newman leads. Val basically just has to hold on to 8th.
Michael Koisier gets past Jackson Oliveira. I'm not sure what happened with Jackson there, but Jackson losing a whole ton of time. And Michael Koisier is now up in 4th.
Val gonna go. Oh, Val getting sideways out of the squirrely. Gotta think about how hard Val's got to be pushing. If he tries a move and it goes poorly, it could cost him the rear-wheel drive championship.
Absolutely, it's dicey stuff, but.
He's got almost 30 seconds backwards to the guy behind him. He doesn't even actually have to push this hard. He can sail home with the championship, but Val's never really been a guy to kind of wait. Val's very much a go-getter, and if he can get an extra point, that would be nice, but not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, you know, he likes to race hard and fight for positions. He enjoys the battle, right? So, you know, what, you're going to sit behind the car in front just to sit behind them? Or you're going to entertain yourself with 7 minutes left to go.
Yeah,
I'd take the latter if I was Val.
Yeah, I mean, these drivers seem to be enjoying this track, so I can't blame them. Val almost losing it in between Degnar 1 and 2.
Yeah, and going towards
Joseph
the
Yang
hairpin,
is going to have
traffic.
to pit.
Oh, man, Joseph Yang with a miscalculation on fuel. Now, is this going to cost him
Did he reset to the pits?
I don't know. Oh, he gets going again.
Just a splash of fuel.
So Michael
Now
Koiser
side by
not
side
close
with
enough.
Daniel.
So Joseph Yang is safe in third place though. Val going
way
way
wide at
wide there.
Spoon.
Lazo getting
Whoa!
all out of sorts. They're 3 wide. Val goes inside. Daniel goes outside. Daniel getting really compromised there. Val gonna have the run down to 130R on the inside here.
Open around through 130R. Laszlo making things interesting. Val does hold 7th so far. You gotta think about how close they're gonna battle. They touch.
Danson Banda's gonna have the inside. Val's gonna break later. A little deep.
Daniel thinks better of it. Val holds on to 7th. That's reassuring. Joseph Yang, don't think he actually lost a position on the stop.
No, he did not. Had a lot of pace, a lot of time in hand, rather, to 4th place. So he keeps on trucking as he was.
Yeah, so the man is still on the tail of Val. This is not out of question as to whether or not the pass might happen, even with 5.5 minutes left. We've really got, count the amount of laps left on our hand, one singular hand. We might even only be at 2 left. Well, no, that's a lie. We might be at like 3-ish. Be close.
Yeah, Doug just getting through.
Actually, depending on where Doug is, we might actually get.
So Doug is just exiting the S's, so we're gonna have 3 laps, I believe, including this one on Doug's lap. So 3 laps for the other drivers, 3.5 laps.
Val just trying to defend against Daniel behind him. Daniel, another one of our rookies. I think he's currently 4th in the championship. Not sure 100% if he can pass for 3rd.
Yeah,
oh, something interesting.
Oh, Brady.
Something interesting to note.
Having it off? No, everything's okay. Oh, my Troy, however, for 9th. 4/10 to Matt Alexander up ahead. Zoom it through as they approach Spoon. Matt Alexander running it a bit wide. Troy trying to keep it a little tidier. Gotta focus on your exit. Seems to do a really good job here. Matt Alexander not getting a great exit. Troy gonna have the draft.
I'm double checking something a bit. I'm monitoring a bit of a situation. Troy going way around the outside. Gets it done on Matt Alexander. I am monitoring a bit of a situation. Kozier may be fuel saving. Or he also might just be trying to nurse those worn tires home. Remember, he is pretty unassailable in his position in the Rookie Championship at this point. But who knows? He just seems to be lugging the car.
Yeah, he seems to be keeping the gears. He's shifting up early. He's
pretty low. Be interesting. We'll have to see the lap time on this way around, or this time around. Matt Alexander still battling with Troy. I'll keep an eye on the lap time for Kozier as he comes around.
Yeah, I mean, really good first showing from Troy here.
Yeah, incredible.
First race.
I mean, he's currently top 10.
Down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Trying to see where Doug is here on the track. Just looping through 200R. So I think this is the second last lap of the race, at least for the lead lap. Doug gonna go through Spoon here. He'll have Alex Milo for company up ahead. Alex is going to lift to let Doug by.
Kozier might actually just be trying to nurse tires, not fuel. His last lap was almost a second slower than Doug Newman's last lap. Don't think it's fuel. It might just be a tire situation.
I mean, Koizier's been battling really hard with some other drivers, so I'm sure his tires are more worn down than maybe some of the other two-stop drivers. Have had cleaner runs through their last stint.
Doug Newman will take the white flag. There is 1 lap left in the OTA Super Sunday Super Cup Season 4 season.
Rolls off the tongue.
It really does. It's so great I had to turn and look at it to remind myself of the name.
Yeah, Doug very touch and go through the first corner, 1 and 2. You know, last lap of the race, got a lot of gap in hand to Thomas behind. So you're just, you know, don't want to make a mistake. Just try to keep the tires happy. Just get to the end as we come up through Dunlop here and towards those corners that I keep forgetting the name of, the
Dagnar curves.
Dagnar curves?
Dagnar curves.
Is Dagnar a driver? Do we know what
I don't actually know.
It doesn't.
That's a good question, though.
I've decided it doesn't matter. Anyways, through the hairpin now, Doug getting a little bit of lockup there on the front, going a little wide, but sticks it all right. Thomas Langille closing the gap. A 48.9 his last lap. So absolutely flying with this newer set of tires and light fuel. But, I mean, 12 seconds off from Doug. So looks like the two-stop was the right call in terms of the overall race pace.
Just important to note here before the finish, Kozier's last lap almost 3 seconds slower than Doug Newman.
Wonder if Kozier is fuel saving.
Makes you think.
Yeah, just race clock ticking down. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Last lap officially. We're going to look at the outside as Doug Newman rounding the final corner, crossing the line, and he is your race winner. Doug Newman. Really, really strong performance from him today. Looked like it was going to be interesting at the start. Thomas Langille having the pace edge, but just not enough, and a 9.5 second gulf between him and Doug for the win. I mean, a great race from Thomas nonetheless. Really just had the pace all day, but it was that extra stop that just didn't work his way. I mean, you know, 3-stop was risky. Definitely more comfortable from a tire perspective. There's a lot less tire management you have to do. But that extra stop, you just waste so much time in the pits. And, that's what did him in, unfortunately. Joseph Yang crossed the line now, and he rounds out your podium. 3rd place for Joseph Yang. Really, really strong race from him. Michael Kozier is rounding 130R. We're going to see him come home in 4th, braking for the Casio Triangle, slipping on through. We got Phil Oliveira right behind him in 11th, and Jackson actually in 5th, right behind them, battling for position. But Kozier is going to come home in 4th, and Jackson following him in 5th place. Strong performance for both those guys. Looking at Paul Todd here as he comes through final corner, crosses the line. 6th place for Paul Todd, and Val, despite a disconnection and a whole host of issues during the race, coming home in 7th.
Val will come through to be your unofficial rear-wheel drive series champion, and more importantly, Kozier will come through to be your unofficial, because I don't trust myself on the points, rookie champion after an incredible drive and a bit of fuel saving at the end to round it off. Daniel Santabene is going to come out of the final corner.
Daniel Santabene crossed the line, and Laszlo, I think, is the last of our official finishers.
Laszlo will be the last official finisher.
15th.
And that's the season. Doug Newman with a race win in the final race. You love to see it. Thomas is going to try and do burnouts in Spoon. A lot of people are crashing into turn 1 in celebration. Man, what a race. Let's get an interview with our race winner.
Let's do that.
Where is he? Where'd he go? There he is. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I'm working it out. Doug Newman, you won the race.
Hey.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
How was it, driver? You seem to be putting on a great race.
Good. I hope you guys didn't catch my mistake though.
Maybe.
That's good.
Okay.
You can watch the stream tomorrow and see if we caught it or not.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't even remember.
What'd you do?
Oh God, I was just in comfort mode once Val disconnected and Thomas made a mistake. I was just in comfort mode. I wasn't paying attention to my fuel. And I blew past the pit entry and realized it at the last second and reversed and then went back into the pits and lost like 25 seconds.
Oof.
I cannot believe it.
I mean, the 2-stop ended up working really well for you at the end of the day. Thomas, I know, tried the 3-stop, and some other drivers did. Had the upper hand in terms of race pace, but that extra pit stop didn't work out for them, and you were just cruising.
It wasn't the pits; it was mistakes, I think, that cost Thomas. He made a few small ones.
He did have. We did catch a little spin.
The
on the exit of the hairpin.
The 3-stop was faster, I think, with Thomas, anyways, in his pace. As long as he didn't make any mistakes, I think he would have had it. But I got lucky there. I think my pace carrying the fuel was okay. Val's pace was definitely better. I think if he didn't get disconnected, it would have been a second place for me. But I'm definitely glad, and that's what happens when you online raced. Sometimes those things happen. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, hard luck, but seemed to be a pretty fun car track combo, and you guys seem to be putting on a good race, so that works.
It was difficult at first for qualifying for me. I once everybody joined the server, I was getting little hitches and drops in my VR, so I had to just kind of reconfigure some stuff. So I think once I got back, I actually put in a pretty decent lap I was happy with, and then the race wasn't so bad, but there was definitely in the S's a couple frame drops, so I was losing a little bit of time there until the field spread out. And then it kind of neutralized my frame. So
that's good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, congrats on the race win. Do you have anything else? Otherwise, I want to interview our rookie champion.
No. Congrats to everybody. Congrats to you guys, and thanks for hosting OTA. And Daniel, Joseph Philip.
Yep.
Philip for running his driver mod stuff, and
that's true. Yes, for running the server. Thank you, DriverMod.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody, and it was fun, and I will see you in the fall.
You will see us in the fall.
You will see us. Great racing, Doug.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. There goes Doug. I'm going to get our rookie champion. Give me a sec.
Getting a rookie champion here while we wait for the rookie champion to come in. Obviously, want to thank our sponsors, Hit Motorsports, Sim Racing Studio in Ajax.
Do it like this.
We got 13 Motorsports, the automotive shop based in Brampton, and Adrena Garage, another automotive performance shop based in Oakville. We want to thank them for providing prizes and promotional consideration for the series. We have our rookie champion.
How's it going, guys?
Good. Don't say any bad words.
Okay.
Congrats, you won the rookie championship. It was really close throughout the entire race. There was about 5 different times where who won the championship changed. Take it through us.
Oh, it was quite hard. I mean, I was sweating like crazy. I know Brady put in a crazy good effort, so kudos to him. I know he put in a lot of effort this weekend, and Paul was pretty much chewing on my bumper. I was chewing on his the whole time, and it was just going back and forth. My 3 pit stop strategy, I didn't know if it was going to pay off at the end because I know the other 2 guys are doing 2 stoppers, but it seemed to work out.
Yeah. So given that you're racing for the rookie championship, but unfortunately you're kind of in the middle of the pack in terms on pace, did racing for a championship in the middle of the pack play into it? Were you using traffic a lot more, or were you kind of just running your own race?
I was running my own race, trying to focus on that.
No, that's good. Did yeah. So at the end were you fuel saving?
At one point I was, and then my headset decided to basically die on me. So I had to try to call my dad over quickly to help me plug it in.
Oh man.
So I had no headset for about 3 or 4 laps while he was trying to find the cable and everything else. So it was hard.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah. No. Fellow VR user, I feel your pain. When you get a disconnect in the middle of the race, oh man, it's something else.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's not great at all. I mean, honestly, amazing that you're able to keep it on track and keep your pace like reasonable while you still found a cable. So, I mean, good on you, man. Like that's it's as close as you get to like a mechanical in real life. It's
no kidding.
So much, yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, well, thanks guys for putting on a great series this year.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully we'll see you in the fall.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you better. All right, thanks for coming out. Congrats on the rookie championship.
Congrats, Michael.
Again. Thank you.
Well, there goes Michael. Alrighty, should we interview Val? He's our rear-wheel drive champion.
Let's bring Val in.
Val, you've unofficially won the rear-wheel drive championship. How was the race, driver?
It was pretty good.
Walk us through the disconnect. Yeah, please.
And it's an issue that I've been fighting with my computer for like a bit. It would crash like once a month. I would never know when. And I was trying to hedge my bets lately. by restarting my computer before the race to like clean out the RAM in case it's like a memory error. So, I mean, I guess I got unlucky but lucky because I got back in.
Yeah, you sort of had a pretty crazy comeback drive.
Yeah, I mean, to have a disconnect and still come back and drive to 7th is.
I was sort of lucky, sort of not lucky because I hopped in and I pressed go immediately. I didn't even look at the setup and I looked at the fuel and was like, I'm gonna have to pit.
Yeah.
And I was sort of hoping that it wouldn't matter, and it ended up not mattering. But if I had some forethought, I might have taken like the extra 4 seconds.
Right,
And just dump as much fuel in
just
there as
dump some
possible
fuel
and not
into
have
it,
to
and then
stop.
just run it to the end and see if that.
But it was kind of nice having good
helped
tires
you.
for the whole last bit of the race. I just got to go and attack the track.
Yeah, and you were
You
putting
go
out some
late.
really good lap times and able to kind of fight your way back through traffic. I mean, I think you rejoined in 13th or 14th, so quite a monumental task to get back all the way up to 7th, especially after coming out of the pits.
I feel bad when I was lapping Lee. I don't know if that was on the stream or if you saw it or anything, but like going into what's the corner after the double left after Degna?
The double left. So you have you have Degnar curves, and you have the hairpin.
Then you have the hairpin. Then you have
200R,
and
then you have Spoon, which is the double left, and then
yes. Okay.
the
So in Spoon, I was coming up on Lee, and he braked super early, and I thought, well, okay, if I brake at my normal spot, I should slip in front, and I didn't, and I think he bounced off my side pod, and I felt real bad.
Man.
Yeah, I think there was some contact there on the stream we saw, and I think with was it Giuliano as well? I think there was a bit of a contact.
There was, that one I need to go back and watch because I came into that that chicane, I think, already fighting with somebody, and then I took it easy, and then before I knew it, there were like 3 cars on the exit of that hairpin, and I did not expect any of them, and then I hit Giuliano because I'm pretty sure I didn't go into that following Giuliano.
Yeah, true? I don't know. I'd have to.
Yeah, we have to look back. I think on the stream we caught like the tail end of it. I think just as you were making contact, kind of thing, like not the entire context. But
I felt real bad about that one.
Hey, what was up with the 3-wide move into the chicane that actually worked?
Yeah, that was wild.
I was planning on braking early, and then those two like got super spooked and braked way too early, and I was like, well, I guess the chicane's mine now. And then they all started, hooting and hollering behind me because I think there was a bunch of contact, and I couldn't tell if my move made the contact happen between the two of them. Can you walk me through what happened?
So if I remember correctly, because you're on the inside, you had to obviously you were slower mid corner. Sure. So the other guys were also slow too. And then I'd have to see it again, but I believe there was just literally an entirely separate incident that occurred coming into the chicane. Yeah, like I think somebody just locked up and then like rear-ended somebody. And then coming out of the chicane, there was a second incident.
I think I heard about that one.
Like somebody got on the gas coming out of the chicane and looped it, and somebody wrecked going into the chicane, and then I think somebody wrecked on the front straight. Yeah. Like there was like a 3-car wreck.
I was
3 separate wrecks rather.
Yeah, I was super not planning to make that move. Like I was ready to brake earlier than I normally braked, and then both of those cars just like braked super early and disappeared on my left, and I was like, oh, I guess we just made that pass, and I'm just gonna go through the chicane. I hope this is clean. And yeah, wild. Did you see Daniel and I split Laszlo?
Yes, that was scary.
I was also scared. I think so.
It worked.
You guys just kind of one went outside, one went inside. You ended up getting the better exit and getting the better KO, but it was
I think
dicey.
we banged wheels into like the entry of Spoon. And then as we were like sort of congratulating each other for like, and like I'm checking on Daniel because he's on my outside. I'm like, yo, you okay? You're not spinning, right? You're okay. And I look up and it's like, oh no, Laszlo, he's wiggling, he's spinning. What's happening? And then we split him.
Oh yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm just now rewatching your pass, and like I think it was lap 1, and yeah, I'll tell you what, it's happened. I haven't found it yet, actually. Oh man, I have to see it. I hope somebody uploads the replay because my game crashed like midway through the race, so it didn't autosave the first part.
Right. Yeah.
It sucks. I think Walter has it, bro.
I don't think I got my launch like I wanted to at the start, which is why Daniel just muscled me around the outside in the first 2 corners. And then as I was chasing him, I made an error at the Degnas, and like my line through Degna 1 and 2 is a little bit sketchy. Like I curb the first apex, I go past the outside curbing in the middle, and then I jump back over it to go do 2 more curb hops on the exit. And if any one of those goes wrong, I'm like having to keep the car off the wall and basically jumping over the sand. And that happened to me like twice. So I think I lost like 10 seconds total in the Degnas, which
Okay,
is why
Val.
I was like 6th or 7th, like after like lap 4.
Okay, Val. So we have a Josh Cronin instant replay on your incident. Okay, so you make the pass,
Which one?
right?
This is the 3
This is
wide.
the chicane. Yeah.
Okay.
You make the pass.
Right.
The person behind you, Cozier, gets hit by Nathan.
Right.
Just a little bit of nose to tail because the car's so light, it turns.
Right.
Because of that, Nathan slows down. Jackson hits Nathan, which causes him to spin. And at the same time as that first impact happens, I think Joseph Yang misses the chicane and goes off. So there like 3 separate wrecks occur at the same time, and then I think after that, somebody else wrecks coming out of the chicane.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like my it probably looks bad from if you watch them compared to me, because it probably looks like I stuffed it in there super hard.
It does. It's not.
But I make
the
that
angle
first
doesn't do you
apex
favors.
right, but I make that apex and I make it clean.
You do.
So yeah, I guess I was prepared to break early, which I did, but I wasn't prepared for how early they were going to break.
Yeah.
So I guess I spooked them.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, that's the nature of racing. Well, congrats on the good race, Val, and on the rear-wheel drive championship.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
I think we ended on a high.
We did definitely end on a high.
That was a heck of a race. It's a shame that it couldn't be a little bit more back and forth, because I think Thomas and Doug were sort of hyping up their fight because their strats were going to line up near the end. But I think Thomas had an incident.
Yeah, Thomas had a little
I
spin at the hairpin and lost quite a bit of time.
Yeah,
and a
I
couple
was
other little.
kind of yo-yoing Doug. I would catch him, pass him, screw up the Degna, go back, and then we were probably going to have a 3-way fight near the end when when Doug and I were going to catch Thomas, but then my computer crashed. Blah blah blah. It's a shame. Could have been a little bit more racing.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, thanks for coming out. We had a pretty fun season.
Happy to come out. I love racing with my friends.
Me too. Alrighty, have a good one, Val.
Thank you.
There he goes. Yeah, that's it. That puts a wrap on the season.
Yeah, what a great season it was. Some great combos, some interesting stuff that we typically don't see in most other race series. So it's nice to have the variety and obviously the
Your
new challenge
microphone's
with a
going
different
low,
car
buddy.
each
Hit
week.
your microphone. Microphone's going wobbly.
Oh no, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Oh, okay. Anyways, what was I saying? Right.
Yeah, no,
different.
Nice varieties.
Nice variety. You get different challenges. Obviously, being in a league where each driver is driving a different vehicle every single week, brings an interesting challenge to the typical race series where you're in the same car week in and week out. We had a good mix of front drivers, rear drivers, street cars, race cars, and the same thing with the circuits. You had proper race circuits, some older circuits with long straights, some very tight and technical street circuits, and everything in between. So really, really awesome to see, the drivers kind of strut their stuff and really flex to see who's the best overall, right? Because, with this level of variety, you're going to have some drivers that are stronger at some tracks versus others. But I think a lot of our drivers are very well rounded, and that showed in the series.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps it for the season. Thanks everybody for coming out, watching. We might have a couple special events between now and the fall, but we'll we'll let you know about that later. Depends. We every once in a while we might get a special event. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got as well. Thanks everybody for joining us over the last 8 weeks or so. We hope you enjoy the spring and summer season out on track. Hopefully we see you there in real life this time, and we'll see you back in the fall for the next OTA series, as well as the special events through the next coming months. Just keep an eye out on the socials for that, and we will see you.
Have a good one, everybody.
Have a good one.
Summer.